We are now live with the men's final. With, Nathan Rennie should be on track, so hopefully we're going to pick up someone. Who the hell is that? Right, bear with us while we get our notes together. Andrea Gaminara.
Out of Italy. He's going to be like on the same time as Sabrina, I think.
I can't even find him.
Okay, so just to explain a little bit more, what we've got going on is because of the length of the track, you're going to have about 4 riders on track at any one point. So at this point in time, we've got, basically we should have this guy that we're watching here, but we've also got Rennie is on track as well. So you'll start seeing the riders staggered coming through.
You'll start seeing the earth shake as Rennie comes through. So Gaminara, yeah, here we are. Oh, right. Have I got the right sheets in front of me or what?
5 minutes and 10 seconds.
What is this here? I don't think I've got qualifying.
Yeah, you got it wrong the way around. Oh no, that's qualifying.
Yeah, but that's what I want.
This is here. All right here.
I want the qualifying.
Looks like Nathan has the fastest split on top of the park.
As you'd expect, obviously had a problem in his qualifying run. I'm going to give up with this. I don't know what this is I've picked up.
I don't know, you can watch this one.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
We can share it.
So I just give up with it. It's confusing me. It don't take a lot this afternoon. After 3 nights in Fort William.
Look at him tripling it at the bottom.
So.
There we go, Nathan Rennie.
So Rennie then, dropping in. Big Nathan Rennie, not having the greatest season of his career, but he's nearly 5 seconds up here, 4.5 seconds for the big man from Australia. Riding for Morewood Bicycles and U-Team. Now this is what we're talking about when we say carrying speed, these big guys. Rennie, not really powering that much, but look how fast he's going, able just to lay off those pedals and give himself a quick breather here and there and still carry that momentum. Ooh. You can see the difference in speed. Rennie sort of squashed that to get over it from the women. These big guys are gonna suit it. So Rennie gonna take the fastest time. Is that a 5 or a 6, man?
6.
You reckon? Okay, well if that is better, isn't it? We'll just big him up. So 5.46 up for Rennie. Goes into the hot seat. 4.56. Some way off the qualifiers from yesterday.
Here.
I got it. I got it again.
You got it. Okay, good.
So G. Atherton, your fastest qualifier. He's going to be the last man down the mountain today with a 4.43. So Rennie 13 seconds back off that, and it's a lot drier. I don't think Rennie's going to be in the hot seat for long. Do you, Annie?
No, don't think so.
No.
Look at his time. Yeah, I think there'll be. The next guys that come down, they had faster times already in qualification, so they'll probably go under it.
That's right. That's right. So, what questions you got? Remember, you can ask us questions on the live blog.
Whoa, cool jump.
Yeah, he went bigger.
Right, okay, one of the questions. What's the best bit of the course in your guys' opinion? What would you like to ride the most?
It's been a while since you've ridden it, Anne.
Yeah, well, yeah, here, it's been a long time. Maybe 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
I like the technical steep sections, like the wood sections. They were really nice. Like riding the berms here, it gets so rough. Like the further you get to race day, and it's just so hard to hold on. I remember in practice, I couldn't even do a full run. I just had to stop and stretch my fingers because they were just basically cramping around your bars. And then when you have to do a full race run, it's just like, try not to think about it, but your arms and your legs are hurting bad here.
It's murder.
And I always like the jumps at the bottom.
Yeah, you would.
And what about you?
I used to love this big pedaling section coming in.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me that much because it was like what I used to hate was all the pedaling at the top of a downhill. You know, so then you're exhausted for the whole thing. But this, you're pretty much straight into it. I used to probably enjoy the top section more out on the open moor because it was really physical and hard and
the rocky sections.
Yeah, you know, picking your way through the rocks, technical. Yeah, I used to really like that stuff up there as well, and just being a big guy, carrying momentum.
Few people want to know why aren't all the courses as long as Fort William? This challenge.
Well, I think it comes down to the sort of topography of the local area, really, doesn't it? Is that the right word? You're a geologist, aren't you?
Bang on.
Bang on, yeah. I mean, we've got a big mountain here, and they've used it all. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Depends on the area where we're going as well, or the
totally
country as well.
On it. I mean, anything I think between sort of 2 minutes up to sort of 5-6 minutes is acceptable. But yeah, this is one of the longest tracks. It's one of the last of the real, almost old school tracks, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember stories from you guys that you had like a prune where it was like 13 minutes.
Yeah, it
back
was
in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. Yeah, it was. You'd call it a marathon these days, wouldn't you?
Well, you had a cross-country bike back then too.
Yeah.
Compared to the bikes that they ride
it was
these
a
days.
cross-country bike, yeah. So Rennie's still in the hot seat.
From Ireland?
Who was that?
I don't know, I lost it.
Yeah, I'm lost. Herman Oland from Sweden on track. Oh, I just can't make head or tails of this. I'm going to give up with it.
That's so good.
So another question come in. What do you think the course is grippier in the wet than the dry on this one?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
For Forecross, it was way grippier in the wet than in the dry. Like on qualification, the track was like almost perfect to ride for us. But then yesterday,
well,
it got really slick again.
Yeah, it certainly binds it up. I would say overall you'll get a faster time in the dryer on the downhill just because of the rocks that are on it.
Yeah.
They get quite slippery.
Slippery.
It can be a bit of a nightmare to keep us straight on, you know. You can really let go when it's dry here, but there is. If it's actually raining, it's quite dry. It's quite grippy. People mistake the mistake, but when it's actually raining, I think sometimes the course is as fast as it's going to be. It's when it then stops raining and then the mud gets carried on the rocks and stays there. But while the rocks keep getting washed by the rain, usually it's pretty good.
Yeah, otherwise you get the sticky mud.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You were mentioning some of the older courses, and somebody's asked whether or not you raced Kamikaze in Mammoth.
I actually did.
Wow, that's a...
I can't remember. I think I might have been 11th in a World Cup there. I remember, this is the honest truth, I came over the finish line because I tried so hard, and it's all pedalling, and it's at sort of 12,000 feet, the summit. Oh, he's gone big and gone bigger. So Brooke McDonald taking the hot seat from Rennie. 4.12 up. For that man, that was a good run. He went big off them finish line.
He did. Riding an Ancelotti bike. They've been around for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good rider. Renoir's out of there. Don't worry about your bike, Rennie. You forgot it. Oh dear. So here's Dominic Gaspan on track.
Out of Switzerland.
I can't find any of these dudes. I'm completely lost.
Down.
There's something
Number
wrong with
88.
this. Huh? 88? No.
Just look on this list.
I know. I just can't work it out. I'm going to have to give up with it. It's doing me
There we go.
Right, send us your questions to freecaster.tv. Man, can we open the door? I'm boiling in here. Are you?
No, I'm okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I've got some sort of sweat going on.
Just need to reiterate at this point that we do get a hell of a lot of questions coming in all the time, so please don't take it personally if we're not replying to all of them. I can only put a selection of them on the website that are acceptable for the viewing public, and I try to get through as many as we can, but we just can't answer all of them at this point in time. We need a call centre. We've said this before, right?
Get Raymond on it. You can have one wire in one ear and one out the other.
It's cool to see how many people are actually watching it now.
Yeah.
Probably from all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world.
Is anybody up? Midnight somewhere?
You can take scene for the most obscure country, and I want it to be a legitimate one.
Yeah, how are you going to prove it?
IP address.
How's that going to work? It's a number. Don't try and baffle me, man. Even I know about that stuff. Huh? What's up with you? Someone's just going to come in from Lithuania, isn't they?
Is that the most obscure country you can think of?
Is there anything more obscure than Lithuania?
Australia!
Yeah.
So Benny Strasser in a third at the moment.
Must be in the middle of the night there.
Yeah, it is.
That's the diehards watching it.
Yeah.
Oh, 11 p.m. at night.
Big shout out to Christos in Melbourne in Australia.
45 minutes to midnight.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Egypt, look at this. Shitty Devon, it's 2:15 in the afternoon.
No way. Oh, they're crazy down in Devon. What are you doing up at 2:15 in the afternoon? I wouldn't be up by now, I didn't have to be. But some of us have got work to do on a Sunday.
We've got someone from South Korea. I'd like to know if Kim Jong-il is watching.
Have you been blown up yet? Have they sent the missiles over? That's the end of that.
Enough of this filler.
Fill it, keep filling, we love it.
Yeah, no, come on. What's been the fastest time so far through the speed trap?
66.864 kilometres an hour.
That is fast, huh?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. If it's accurate, it's fast.
These are Swiss, these guys.
Oh, that's
accurate.
true, you're right. You're right.
Swiss timing, huh?
Why don't they give the tag watches away anymore like they used to? They used to give a nice tag away, didn't they? So we've had some of the greatest World Cup races of all time have been here in Fort William since its beginnings, its inaugural meeting in 2002 when Chris Kavarik won it in 03. CG out with a knee like that. Grassion's out, injured at the moment. He's listening at home. In 04, Greg Menard won it. Second fastest qualifier today. 05, Steve Beat won it. Took the semi and the final and the World Cup over on home soil. Quite an emotional day for some of us Brits.
Got a question here for you, Annika, actually, that a few of the people who've just started getting into the live racing this season may have only seen you riding four cross. So, you know, maybe explain a little bit your DH racing career.
Yeah, well, I started racing BMX when I was 4 and got a bit into downhilling when I was 15 and just started riding downhill. Back then you also had the dual slalom. I actually did a podium in downhill. I got 5th in Leiden, Switzerland. I was up there with Katja Repo and Anne-Caroline Chausson.
Katja Repo, there's a name from the past.
Another good result was the 6th place in Germany, in Willingen. But then I also started doing some more 4-cross races. And I just had a better feeling doing 4-cross, and it was hard doing both in one day. And, you know, if you want to go 100% for one thing, it's hard to do both. So I made the decision to just do 4-cross. But yeah, I did some downhill. I rode a lot of the courses, and I do miss it now a little bit, but you know, I'm winning 4-cross races, so that's important.
And almost impossible to do both these days, eh?
It is hard. You see some riders like the Ettertons or Cedric and Jared Graves, and some of the girls as well. Yeah.
Polk. But not many of them do well, do they?
And
really?
it's hard to do well in both. Like last night, if you race in the evening before you get back from podium, drug testing, you know, talking to the media, it's normally like midnight before you can grab something to eat.
Yeah.
And then you gotta be back on your bike at 8:30 the next morning to do some downhill runs. So yeah, it takes a lot of energy out of you just racing both.
I know, the downhill here, especially on these longer tracks, is physical enough.
This one, like, you got like courses like Mount St. Anne, those are just brutal courses.
Yeah. Yeah, they're long and hard, eh?
Yes, they are. And then when you're from Holland, you know, you don't have really high mountains really close by to go training on.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was. I always had to go like to Germany or France to get some proper downhill training in.
There's the man with the perfect name crossing the line 11 seconds back.
No, the brother of the man with the perfect name.
Well, they both got...
Nick Beer, stealing
Nick Beer, you're right, Will, amazing. He nicks beer, brilliant, brilliant.
The other one sells it.
The other one is Aaron,
under my tent,
local lad
beer
on the track.
tent.
Is it, eh?
Under my tent.
Do they?
She's in the beer tent.
I'm in the beer tent.
Oh, yeah?
Beer tent?
Beer tent, amazing. Everyone else at home can, they suck.
Back in the day.
Yeah, we love it, that was brilliant.
Nick's Beer, Mar sells it.
Yeah, good old Nick Beer. We'll see him in action later. He had a brilliant, I think he was 6th at last round in Andorra, so the man's on fire, the Swissman.
Here we go, somebody out of Great Britain.
Young Aaron.
You can hear the crowd.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's one of those nose bongs we're talking about when everyone's exhausted. Surely we're going to see someone go over the bars this afternoon.
Crowd is going crazy already out here.
61.64 through the speed trap. Yeah, we've got the door open on the commentary booth now. We're getting a bit more involved with the atmosphere here. So 12 for Aaron Gallicott.
We had another question in because I know a lot of people tune in to see the helmet cam shots that we do of each round. And do you know the story behind this one, Rob? Because
No.
I do. But
I've been asleep for 3 days.
yeah, that's pretty true.
I heard something about it.
Yeah, well, apparently a media that we can't mention on air set somebody up with a helmet cam earlier in the week, and it
Is it
was.
MTV Cut?
I'm not saying anything. It wasn't them.
Wasn't it?
No. And apparently he came down with his helmet cam swinging around like a helicopter on the top of his helmet, to which the UCI commissaires have said no more helmet cam footage,
dear.
except for us.
Freecaster.
So we've got one. We did it this morning, and it will be up online. So unfortunately, it'll be after the event, but you will get one.
Nice. Yeah, I saw him in Focross. He had like this big wing going around on his
Really? I didn't
helmet.
see
It was
Would
hilarious.
have been a hell of a helmet cam. You'd have got a bit of the scenery in and everything. Could have been amazing. Ralph Jones in the 12th. Riding from the UK. A lot of Brits here this afternoon.
New Zealand.
Windmasters from New Zealand. On track now. 10 seconds back, so he ain't going to be going in the hot seat. Something I'm going to mention as well, I heard Annie say about the drugs testing and stuff. You know, what is it these days, Annie? Top 3 plus a couple of randoms get drugs tested at every round?
Yeah, the World Cup leader always have to go.
Always tested?
Yeah, always testing. And then we got some randoms, and the winner of today has to go as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
basically.
then a couple of randoms in there.
Yeah, randoms in there.
So safe to say, I don't think in mountain bike and downhill 4-cross, people really looking to use performance enhancing in drugs, you know, in sport.
No,
all
like,
over there, I mean, drugs are part of it, but I think it's nice to say, really, for downhill 4-cross and stuff, everyone's clean anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, there ain't no one trying to break the rules, which is great, but
and we
you
still
couldn't if you wanted to.
Yeah, and we get tested like everybody else, like road riders. I mean, we get like also the random drug testing at home. Like I'm in the UCI pool. I even have to fill out my daily.
Do you have to weigh in a bottle every day and send them?
Yeah, not. I got one in my backpack all the time. No, but like I have to point out like an hour a day where I'm gonna be because I do.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm glad I quit when I did. What a ball like, man.
And like I gotta fill out like basically every hour of the day where I am. Doesn't matter where I go. Like
what?
Yeah, I do.
I had a psychologist. Oh! I had a psychologist wanted me to fill out a form every hour, every day where I was. I didn't bother with that.
So yeah, that has changed, I guess, over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
but you know.
Oh, this boy's loose, isn't he?
Wow, yeah.
All over the
He's
show.
going for it.
7 back for Troquier, Mathieu Troquier.
You get a lot of that.
What's that? Let me read it. We're all having a good laugh here at something that's come in.
You behaving yourself.
Me?
Miss Burton.
Oh. Well, I can understand if she wouldn't be, but the beaver's bound to be listening, so keep it clean, Annie. So Warren Cody on track then. Oh, he's had a disaster too. 10 seconds back for that man. I wonder what's going on up there. No one really getting quicker.
Riding for Team America on Specialized bikes.
With Kyle Strait.
Yeah, he's on the same team. Cody's a really good rider. He's been out there for the last couple of years. He even started racing on Haro back in the day when he was really young. Yeah, I remember. Same team as Kurt Voorhees back in the day.
Was he? Well, Voorhees, one of the legends, really.
Yeah, and he had some good results over the last couple of years. And it's good to see him racing over in Europe at the moment.
Yeah, nice to see. America used to be so dominant in mountain biking.
Yeah.
You know, really, they've all but disappeared at the moment.
Yeah.
There's no real big guns for him, is there?
Miles back, huh?
He's riding a bit of the rock.
I know.
He's,
every now and then you see like
Mitchell
Mitch
Delph's on track.
Delphs.
So this boy's got some pace. Delph's the Australian riding for Kendall Morwood. 15th in the World Cup last year, but he's 5 seconds back. So maybe there's been a snowstorm up top we haven't seen or something.
Let's see.
What's it look like out there, Will?
Cloudy.
Cloudy, not enough to make up for it at the start gate when you can't even see it. So Delph's also back. Slipping a pedal there.
Oh, pedal.
That was a good excuse to chill out. He's back on it now, though. He's got his feet back on.
Nice.
Flat pedals, look. So Delph's coming down into the finish area. 65k, that's fast. but his time's way back. Lost another couple of seconds just on that last section. Shows just how much time there is to be made down there. Expect to see the big guns, Minar, the Peaties, the Hannahs, G as well. All those powerful guys are definitely going to be making some time up down on that bottom last sprint in. So, I don't know where we're at now. Keep sending your questions to Freecaster TV. Well, what we got? Give us some questions.
Right.
Come on, get a bit more edgy with it, though. They're boring. Let's have some wild ones.
Right.
Dig deep. They can't all be clean. I know they ain't. You're lying to me if you think I'm that stupid.
Well, I'll give one to Annika. What did you think of the BMX at the Olympics?
Oh, awesome! It was great.
I'll let you off. I'll let you off.
No, it was really cool. I was in Australia when I watched it. We had our World Cup there, but I watched it on television, and yeah, it was a great event. I enjoyed watching it. I think it's good for the sport, for the BMX sport, and any bicycle sport, and yeah, it was great, and especially seeing Anne-Caroline Chausson win.
Oh, big whip. What's that one say? Rob, are you an alcoholic? No, but I'm really quite quickly developing a problem, yeah. You're right. Not yet, I'm on my way. When I get there, we'll have a party, get drunk.
Emailing from your brother here. Has anybody ever soiled themselves while racing? Is this some kind of
Is that my brother?
Rich Warner?
Well, my brother, because he does enduro, and he won't stop to lose 10 seconds to have a wee. He just pees himself all the time. What's that one you were laughing at, Annie? What do you think about Yeah, I can see why Will has to vet these.
Thanks for the funny questions.
Pennies? I think they're great.
All right, who's on course number?
So that's the new section as well. The course used to come around the right there and rejoin there, but they've opened that up. Gives these people a lot more, carry a lot more speed onto this bottom section. He's back, 4.69. So, McDonald, the New Zealander, in the hot seat at the moment with a 4:52.54. Rennie behind him, Nathan Rennie, the legend that is, on a 4:56. Daufs, 4:59. Troquier on a 4:59. And Tetzlav in 5th place from Austria on 5 minutes dead. So, expect to see the times get way quicker here this afternoon. The track we know is faster, although you wouldn't believe it at the moment.
Yeah, there's still a big gap between number 1 and number 2. There's still 4 seconds.
Yeah, he's put a pretty good time there.
Yeah, he did. McDonald had a really good run, I think.
Still 10 seconds off the time of G. Atherton in qualifying with a 4:43. Minar was 2nd. 3rd, Mick Hanna. 4th, Blankenship. This is qualifying
Sam
from
Dale on
Sam
track
Dale
now.
On track then.
He should be able to put down a good time. What is he riding for this season? Do you know?
He's actually he's riding a Giant painted white. He'll love me for saying that.
All right.
So he is on a Giant.
He was on Cannondale last year, right?
Yeah, he's on Giant. They wouldn't help him out really, so he painted it white. Sort of doing his own thing, Sam. Powerful lad, had some great results over the years. I think he's, deserves a better deal than he's got. All these British riders are going to be super motivated here this afternoon on home turf. Dale in with his shower, going fast here, so I think he's going to be outside though. But he's putting it all out there. 0.7 back for Sam Dale. Gave it everything coming into the finish there. So these boys are digging deep. This is round 4 of the Nissan World Mountain Bike Cup from Fort William. You're watching it live on Freecaster with me, Rob Warner, and Annika Beerton.
You asking for obscene questions has just sent this ballistic, Rob.
Oh dear. Go on, what are they saying?
Oh my God.
The words rack coming up.
Oh my God. Poor old Annie. Get accused in here.
Oh my God.
What? Oh my God, we can't repeat that.
Can't repeat any after this.
Can't say any of that. Right. If it's filthy, it's got to be clever filthy, because we can't use it. I'd like to, but it's an afternoon show.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What are they taking off the bikes in the finish area?
What are they taking? Oh,
timing.
the transponders.
Yeah, the transponders.
An electronic transponder, which gives us exact, accurate time. In the days of the times being cocked up are long gone these days. All computerized with a, what we got now?
Oh, yeah, we got something that,
here's Klausmann on track.
Klausmann, the German rider.
Marcus Klausmann.
He has been around as long as you, probably.
Almost, you know, he's one of the, come on in, Rob.
Look who this is.
Well, what a result.
He was a bit off in the split time, but not a whole lot.
I knew there was a bit of free publicity. Paige, you'd roll up.
But
oh, did you? You had to drag him in here, did you? Come on, Annie, what you got?
Yeah, we got a good question about Sam Hill's pink outfit today. You can actually go to the Dirt website, and I think you can go through to eBay.
Yeah.
It's like auction.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, for cancer research, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so people, you can actually buy it and get it. Sam Hill's
we wouldn't
racing
normally
gear.
mention the
I'm
Dirt
sorry.
website, but it's for charity.
Beep.
It's for charity.
Exactly,
it's for charity.
so it's good.
So, yeah, go to the Dirt website. You can bid on, we think, Sam Hill's race kit from the day. His gloves, his trousers, his shirt.
Exactly.
I think he's going to be rocking the 2010 Troy Lee designed Sex Pistols kit. Not everyone's cup of tea, pink and yellow. But,
it's nice. I think it looked good.
It's for cancer research, so put your hands in your pockets and you can get Sam's kit today, and it might even be what he wins in if he's on form.
Yeah.
But there's a man joined us now who won't be very happy about that. Annie, can we just pop your headset a minute and have a quick word with Rob?
Of course.
We got 3 headsets or 2. Rob, want to get on air for a minute?
Belgian rider?
Talking to that. Keep going.
Just saying. Nico Venk's coming in. Belgian rider, has been out with a knee injury. He has one of the best styles out there, I think. He handles
cool,
his bike. Look at him, just popping it in that corner like it's nothing.
He don't mind going big, does he?
He's just got back from injury. 8 plates, 7 seconds off. But
yeah. Well, we're very pleased to say that just wandered in here out of the blue is Santa Cruz Syndicate manager, owner, Rob Roscott. Rob, how are you?
Quite good, Rob. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, not too bad. Haven't seen much of you this weekend, but it's
I
so
heard
busy here at the... Go on, what have you heard?
Well, I just heard rumors. You know, you had a big night.
Yeah, it's been a hectic few days as ever here in Fort William, but it's hard to catch up with anyone. There's so many people here. Will, could I? Sorry, I've got to get the finer details. So, Petey, we heard he's got a little bit of an injury this afternoon.
Little one. Nothing to worry about too much. No.
Nothing that'll even slow him down.
Not Steve.
No, he's pretty tough, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a tough
What's
guy.
he done? He's broken knuckle, I understand, or maybe broken knuckle.
He's bruised the bone in his hand pretty badly, but I think he'll be quite good to ride and ready to go. Shouldn't be a problem.
So he's real up for it, I guess. We've seen a bit of
he's Sheffield Steel, right? As you always say.
He is Sheffield Steel. The man is the hardest bloke I know, literally.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, did you expect your team manager? You hired him, but did you ever expect to see him getting the results he has this year? You know, honestly, winning the last 2 rounds back to back.
Well, I've always known he's capable, and he's done it in the past, obviously.
Yeah. 3 years though, I think, since he said since he last won one until now.
Yeah, it's been 3 years
a
exactly.
While, yeah,
right.
which is surprising. I thought it was a lot more recent than that, probably like yourself.
Right.
Especially if you're paying him all that money, he probably kept it quiet from you, Rob.
Hey, but he's on the podium every time, so.
It's true. He's never off the podium.
And it's Petey, so Petey's the legend, like you said too.
He's a legend. It don't really matter if he comes last, does it, these days? He's a legend, whatever happens.
It's good for the sport.
But to see him up there like he has been this year has been incredible, and we might even see 3 in a row this afternoon.
Yeah, it makes me a little nervous, obviously. Winning streaks they don't last very long, so.
No.
And there's it's gonna be a close race, obviously. G's on fire. Greg's right there.
Yeah.
Mick Hanna.
Yeah.
The dark horse.
Hanna,
so it's gonna be good.
Yeah, he's loose. You never know quite which way it's gonna go with him, but like you say, the one thing I get asked wandering around here, I think people think because I'm a commentator I know what's going on, is who do you think is going to win? But it's actually impossible to call, and for someone to win 2 back-to-backs, just amazing this day and age without taking age and things into account. But like you just said, there's Hill, there's Minar, G, desperate to win, I'm sure, on home ground as well. And,
sure.
But like your other rider, I mean, what have we had? Greg here. He's won here twice before, and he won here last year as well.
Last year,
so,
yeah.
and he was pretty disgusted with himself with that 6th place they had in Le Bresse. So
Yeah.
it's the first time he's been off the podium for a couple of years, out of the top 5. So
that's racing, and you know, can't be on a podium every time, obviously, but he's
ever
really
so consistent. How do you think he is so consistent? I mean, I don't think there's anyone out there as consistent as him.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's probably the most consistent
Yeah,
racer.
never falls,
And,
never see him crash.
you know, it's a mental game, obviously, and these guys are the best, and
Yeah.
they're the ones that can handle it, and that's why they're consistently
Yeah.
on the podium.
Yeah.
People think, you know, it's physical. I think anybody at this level in any sport, the people that are constantly winning and being the most consistent, it's mental. I think it's, you know, 90% mental.
It is.
Yeah.
That's right, because like you say, they're all really fit. They can all ride their bikes to the limit of what a bike can do.
Exactly.
So what's the thing that's going to make the difference? It's
Right.
all in the mind, yeah.
They got to dig down deep and just
Yeah.
put it down.
Yeah, I mean, Greg's obviously got a system that works for him, hasn't he? He always seems very relaxed to me. I'm sure he's not as relaxed inside. Pete always seems relaxed to me as well, but...
Sure. I mean, everyone, as you know, when you race, you get the little butterflies going.
There's a bit of a front going on.
Right, yeah. Exactly. You don't want to play or show your hand, as they say, in
Probably
poker.
the funniest thing I ever saw, which was in a pre-race ritual, was in Nevergull, was everyone rides round in a circle, you know, warming up at the top.
Right.
Palmer rode the wrong way around the circle, so he's basically having a head-on collision, stopped, dropped his pags and took his shit in the middle of everyone.
Not one of his brighter moments,
It was
sounds
the most
like.
ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So Graves is on track at the moment. No, it was pretty wild. I think it definitely broke everyone's flow. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So we saw Graves in action last night in the four-cross, where he won again. 3 out of 4 for Graves in the four-cross this season. Riding for Yeti. He's a pretty good down there, eh, Rob?
The four-cross, yeah, he's pretty much tied it up already,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, amazing. But he's also a good down there too.
He is.
5.5 back
Down
there for Graves. So Brooke McDonald not putting in a bad time there, but I think it's fair to say that the track's a lot faster. We think looking at the women's than it was in the semi yesterday. So
yeah, it's hard to say. You know, we walked it last night, and it rained just before the semi, and it didn't rain hard, but it was decent. And after when we walked it, it was like a desert already.
Yeah.
Other than in the tree section where it's really loamy still.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think if with a little rain, it'd be actually faster.
yeah, it would a little bit just to pack it down
exactly,
and find it all up.
The corners are blown out a bit, so it's looser, and you know, you're going to scrub speed there.
And what about Bryceland? Where's he this afternoon?
He
gonna
should
see him in
be. He
action
qualified
shortly.
11th. So
Did he?
Yeah, he did quite good.
He's getting better, eh?
Yeah, it's a good course.
Slow start to him, and this season perhaps what we expected of him, but I think you forget
He's
just
coming
how
on.
young Josh is. That's
Right,
the thing,
yeah.
you know.
He's just turned 19, I think. So
yeah, he's as thin as a rake.
Yeah, he needs to fill out a bit.
Get some more power in him.
Yeah, exactly.
From the big boys.
All right. But this course, obviously, it's longer than the last couple, and it's the most physically demanding. Well,
Yeah.
this amount's in end. But
Yeah.
what's really key, I think, you make it down 3/4 of this track, then you got to sprint, like
Yeah.
where Ari is
Well,
right
we
now.
were just saying, I mean,
That's where the race is won and lost.
You think it is? Funny enough, we got asked a question where I thought it was won or lost, and I was like, I think probably the only place you could really blow it perhaps would be in that wood section, but obviously it's all
Sure.
the way down.
Right.
I mean, in a big catastrophic way. But we saw some people just from that last split on the last minute in taking 2-3 seconds out of people,
Right.
which is huge.
Exactly. Because you're getting beat up so badly 3/4 of the way down, and you get out of that wood section, then you're into pretty flat sprint with some jumps.
Yeah, and I mean, Rob, it's a real, like we said about mental strength. I remember coming down there and sitting down, and we see some of these riders sat down. You see, you know, some of them are stood up, they're driving on, they're on top of their gear, and they're pushing it on. And some of them just look so knackered, they're sat
Right.
down. But everyone's knackered, and it does come down to mental strength.
Exactly.
You know, dig that deep, and
Exactly.
like you said, Minar, PT, the Hills of this world, the guys with a real passion, the real
Right.
real want, they're all going to be stood up. And it's going to come down to...
It's too bad Cedric's not here. I mean, he just got his knee operated on.
Yeah.
We wish him all the best.
Yeah.
Because he's done well here. He's won.
That's right.
You know,
He
in
won
the past
down there,
03.
yeah. In 2003, exactly. So, and he's won 4 cross here as well.
And I'm sure you miss him commentating with you too.
Yeah.
As everyone does.
Yeah, we do. I know. Maybe we'll try and get him to a few, eh?
Yeah.
When he gets his knee, but he's just had it done this week. He's going to be a bit sore to move just yet.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks' time, we'll try and get him to Slovenia, see if he wants to come and commentate with CG. If you can get there, get there.
Yeah. Everybody misses you.
Yeah.
Right, Rob. We've Got quite a few questions coming in on people who want to know if there's any secrets to be known about 2010 bikes, carbon V10s, anything like that in the pipeline.
Rob's face. So that carbon V10 I saw in the pits, is it a prototype? No,
you're killing me, Warner.
Really.
No, there's nothing as of right now, so that remains to be seen. We're always working and fine-tuning what we have, and
you got new downhill bikes for next year, or is it going to be much the same?
We're continuing to work on new stuff.
There was a big,
it's not good.
Pause there.
Yeah, well, we're like I said, we're always refining the bike and trying to make it better.
But you're not going to have a brand new bike, you don't think, from the ground
up? Brand new? No, I
tweaked.
No, yeah, everything's always tweaked these days.
Of course.
Right, it's really hard to reinvent the wheel, as they say.
Yeah, and what about this track, Rob? I mean, you're obviously close with Hat-Trick down there, and Doug, all the mechanics. Right. What do they do? Is it? I mean, I remember that I think we used to set the bikes up a lot harder here, but it's Steve and that they run their suspension pretty stiff anyway, as I remember.
Yeah, they run it stiff, but you also want it because you're going so fast. There's a lot of braking bumps.
Yeah.
You want it a little softer off the top.
Off the top.
Yeah.
But then it ramps up pretty quick to stop them falling in them holes, or.
Yeah.
I've seen people with ludicrously hard suspension here. Actually, Fabian Barral, who might come and commentate us with her.
Right.
I remember one year he had the damping was wound on like so much that it was basically taking about 30 seconds to return. But he got a punch, but at the split he was so far ahead of everyone. So it started to make me think a little bit. I know Mojo set his suspension up for him, but
right.
Guys haven't really veered away from that sort of central setting they use most weeks then by a long shot.
They're just tweaking a little bit here and there.
Yeah. As every week.
Right.
And are they saying it's as rough as normal?
They said the top part's smoother.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But as you get into the steeper part where the rocks are really starting to show, and now that it's so dry, it's getting brutal again.
Is it already starting to break up again?
Yeah.
So, well, there's Fabian Barral. He's took the fastest time. Right, Fabian stats. Yeah, so Fabian in the hot seat. Probably going to join us in here. He's on the Mondraker prototype, riding for the Subaru Pro Team. One of the greatest mountain bike riders of all time, it has to be said, a 3-time world champion. He's been developing that bike since November 08, and it's going to be in production this August. And he says he really loves his new bike. God damn! Will's writing stuff out for me. Did you want me to just literally come out with that?
Scripted.
So, Rob, who's your money on for this afternoon, then?
It's a tough call, but I'd say Greg.
Yeah? Would ya? Would ya? Why?
Anybody that can get fourth at Worlds, crash, get up, break his scapula, I think it was at the time.
Yeah.
And still finish fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said, like we said, it's an incredibly intense track, physically and mentally, and if it comes to digging deep, then you've got to be strong-minded, and Greg's certainly that.
And at the same time, it's hard to not count Steve out because he's
on the home soil.
He's flying.
On fire, huh? I heard the family's here, the newborn and everything.
Yeah, he's got George, Adele, Jakey, his parents. It's great to see everybody.
Oh, really? The whole lot are here. Well, Pete will be definitely digging deep here.
No doubt.
He was 5th fastest qualifier, wasn't he? Yesterday. Yes. So, just in front of him, Sam Blenkinsop. 3rd was Mick Hanna. 2nd was Greg Minot. Fastest qualifier was G. Atherton. So, all that. Fabian milking the crowd as ever. He loves to milk the crowd, doesn't he, the Fabian, eh?
Yeah. All right, well, thanks a lot, Rob.
Yeah, thanks very much for joining us. And, yeah, we'll see you in a bit, mate. Good luck this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks. Fingers crossed.
Paigey, do you want to get on the mic for a little bit? Of course you do, don't you? Hey? Also, join us in the box. We've got World Masters mountain bike champion, Lee Bertram. Most of you won't have heard of him. Sorry, Bertie. Bertie, I mean, don't you think it's a bit of a shame in this day and age? Bertie, World Masters champion, went out there, big things expected of him this year. Couldn't even get a frame out of orange.
Title what?
God
hey, Donny's on track there, Rob. You might want to give him a little shout.
I don't think so without a split time. Do you? Jesus Christ. It'd be better if we just keep it quiet. We don't know who that is on track. Don't know who is that. No one we've ever seen.
Come on.
Poor old Donny then struggling. 11 seconds back at the split. He might have had a problem. Remember that horrendous nose bonk he did over
yeah, I
here?
hope he doesn't do another one.
Oh God, Donny, put it on the front wheel.
Just lift,
Oh,
Donny.
he got over it. Oh, he just. Used to be one of the most stylish riders on the circuit. That nose bonk put him back a bit. Riding for a Polish car cleaning company, is that right? That's what you told me, Nige.
Oh, he's had a problem with the zombie there.
Looking down.
Yeah.
Who's he riding for?
Zumbi.
Zumbi.
Yeah.
Team Zumbi.
Oh, here's a legend of the sport doing a. Will he do a backflip over this jump coming up? Do you think, Rob?
I hope not.
Or is Kyle Straight's freestyle days over? Is he becoming a serious racer?
Well, he's 11 seconds back at the split, so it's weird actually. We're not like normally it gets faster and faster. Today they seem to be getting slower and slower. I don't know if it's high winds at the top. Thanks very much, Rob. Good luck, mate. We'll see you in a bit. So straight on track, have to say, one of the greatest free riders I've ever seen, and you know, nothing but respect for what I saw him do at the 04-05 Rampage when he dropped that 70-foot drop. Seems to have returned to this probably, I don't know how old he is now, but he's probably had enough of throwing himself off the sides of mountains.
You'd imagine, wouldn't you? There's only so many backflips you can do
before you're going to really nail yourself. So 10 seconds back for straight. Barral looking good in that hot seat at the moment.
Yeah. Are they the same bikes as Brendan and Sam are using? Are they the same frames?
You tell me, Nige.
I ain't got a clue, Rob.
I doubt it, do you?
You're a bit more of a mass-produced bike manufacturer, so you'd know that stuff. I'm not,
well,
not too
if
sure.
I told you who made those, I'd probably know a little bit more about them. The Big G. Big G.
Oh, yeah, the Big G.
So they're straight. Right, whereabouts are we on this start list? I've lost track of everything.
Getting onto the last page, I think, now, Rob.
Are we?
Yeah.
Is that yours or mine? Did you bring that in with you?
I brought it pretty
Can I have
organised
it
these
when you
days.
leave in a minute?
Onto the last page now. Hey, we've got one of my team riders coming up, Matt Simmons. Let's see what he can smash out this afternoon. Brilliant rider, Matt, but he's just got to get a bit angry.
Where are we then? 36 qualifier. There, Simmons. Yeah, I'm just doing it off this.
Okay. You've not got the start list there, Rob.
I don't like it, mate. I like this one with the times, but you're right. I probably should have grabbed the start list.
There's a pretty good crowd here at Fort William again. Always a good crowd here.
Always is, eh, Nige?
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy crowd here every time, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. Spot on.
Look how many people come. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Are most of them dudes Scottish, or have they come from all over the country? Here's Simmons on track. He's on to the bottom section there. Let's see what he's got in the tank. What's his split time? Is there anything coming up there, Rob?
Nothing.
Oh, he's a bit down, 8.9 down.
8.9. I don't know what's happened with our live here. No, it's okay. Oh, I'll tell you what it is. We have to scroll down.
Matt's putting the power down there, but you can see he's pretty tired. It's a really flat, pedally section, this bottom half of the track.
It's pretty horrendous, Nigel. We've all pedalled down it a few times.
Matt getting
Simmons
his tuck
clipped in,
on.
is he?
Yeah.
That'll help. So Fabian Barral in the hot seat at the moment with a force faster and spits through the speed trap there though, Nige. 449.89. McDonald in second at the moment at 452. Sandow from the UK third, 453. Alego Moreno, the Spanish pinner. We didn't see him on track. With he's fourth. In fifth, Bigoni. Sixth, Thirion. Seventh, Wilmette. God knows. Eighth, big man from Australia, Nathan Rennie. Ninth, Klausman. And in the 10th, Nigel Page is joining me at the moment, is rider Matt Simmons. So if he'd been on a decent bike, he'd have probably been in the top 5.
Okay, we got a question here for Nigel. They want to know, Mark, don't know from where, would like to know if the team is liking the new 951.
Yeah, this is the first week we've well, some of the riders have been on the 951. It's a new downhill bike from Intense. It's a bit lighter than the M6. It's got a bit less travel. And I do remember Warner using an Intense bike with giant stickers on it, Mountain. And was it Rob when you qualified 10th? But no, seriously, yeah, Matt, as you can see there, he wasn't riding the 951 because they haven't made any larges yet for us, but that'll be coming in the next few weeks. But this is the first race that we've used them, and the rest of the riders on the team seem to be preferring them as an all-round bike at the moment. It's got 8 inches of travel, or 8.5. We can change that, and the bike's a lot lighter. It seems to ramp up a bit quicker, which is what some of the courses lately we've been wanting to find out of the suspension. And yeah, so far, I mean, they seem to like the bikes a lot. They look really nice, and I think it's going to be a really good bike for Intense for customers. We've got Fabien Pedemanau now on the track. He's a really stylish rider from France, riding for Claudio's Scott team this year. Pretty close. Oh, only just outside Fabien's time there, 4:50.41. That's a brilliant time by Fabien.
Well, he didn't beat the boss. Oh, he's not on that anymore, is he?
No. But then that was a good time, so obviously Fabien Barel putting a good time down this afternoon, but I don't think it's going to hold out for a podium position.
Forever, but Barel doing well. They're coming back from a knee injury. He sustained in South Africa the week before round 1 on the old cheat race, the South African Cup on that track. But he overjumped something, didn't he, on that high-speed section and pretty much bust all the ligaments in his knees. Been in the gym since, and it's paid off for Barel. He said he was desperate not to miss the rest of the season. He wanted to be back. I didn't think he was going to be back. I don't think he thought he was going to be back this soon, but that's an incredible run, really, with half a knee, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a pretty determined athlete, isn't he? I mean, he doesn't have that much luck, does he? I can't remember he's doing a full season, can you, without an injury?
No, and like we said here once, he was about 11 seconds up at the split. Do you remember that he flattened
yeah.
on those amazing Tioga tyres we all used to run? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, Dave Wooten used to plug them for a few years, didn't he? But he was kind of riding a flipping...
It was like riding down on blocks of ice.
Will he make a comeback? But then Nico won a world championships on him, didn't he? Were they actually Tiogas, you think?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think they had Tioga written on them in big white pen. It's all right, they're done now. Is Tioga still in business? Not after this.
I think they are, actually.
Dave has his own bike brand.
Dave Wooten, does he?
Stolen bikes, like freestyle bikes.
No way! Wicked.
That's actually Anthony Revell's bike brand, and I think Dave's took it over in the States. That's like the BMX brand, isn't it? Yeah.
We've got a question in here. I don't know if this is for real or not, but we got a question in from Mr. D. Westerland, who wants to know why we're bagging the free riders.
I see him quite a lot at Red Bull X Fighters. Why are we bagging free riders?
More a question from last night, actually.
Well, I can understand the Canadians getting a bit upset with it because free riding is real over there, isn't it? But these 50-year-old fellas that ride by my house on like 8-inch travel bikes with massive knobbly tyres, camelbacks, they go out for a 2-hour bike ride with a full face helmet on the knee pads. I mean, that ain't free riding, it's cross country, mate, and you're making it hard for yourselves. Get some lycra, get hardtail, put 80 PSI in the tyres and go rip. But as opposed to just buying into something, God, annoy that out of me, Nige, you know what I mean? Talk about all the gear, no idea.
Well, I mean, what the name says it all, doesn't it? Free riding. Do you get paid to ride those sort of bikes, Rob?
I don't know. I mean, I can see it in Canada. You can cruise about on a mountain, and yeah, you might need 6 inches, but on the Chilterns you don't. Do you know what I mean?
It looks cool, though, doesn't it, mate? You know, like when you used to cruise down Henley in the GB
skin suit.
Skin suit.
Do a few laps.
Yeah. Have a fake shandy and then carry on home. Do another 50 miles and not tell anyone.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. So a blast from the past is Ben Reed on track. Baltic, Ben Reed. It's the producer coming in our ears. So we'll use that one later, Flo. Don't worry, it's coming. So Baltic, Ben Reed, 5 seconds back. The little Irishman. His gran and grandma are watching. Always time for a whip though, Baltic.
Baltic getting the pedals down.
He's on the pedals here.
I don't know what you think, Rob, but I think this track really it suits the bigger riders with a bit more power,
we
bit
said
more
that.
weight.
Bit more weight. Yeah, he's going to struggle. I mean, when he gets technical, Baltic's there, isn't it?
Oh,
I
styling
think he
up for
knows
the
it
crowd
as well.
there.
You know, it's not really the track for Baltic Ben.
No, really good technically, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. When we get to Sladming and places like that, he's one of these guys who tends to specialise a bit. But he's good effort there from Baltic.
Not a bad time at all.
6-3 back on Barel. Fabian for sure. So a little blast in the past here quickly. Jerry Dyer has texted me. I met him last weekend for the first time. He's come back from America.
A while ago, I think.
Did he?
Big Jezza, one of the all-time legends of the sport.
He says,
real good mate of mine.
Say all right, David, to you.
Tell him, all right, Seiford, how you doing?
Tell him yourself, he's listening.
Jerry, you need to get yourself up here. I was hanging out with Jeff Walker last night. We were having a chat about you. He says you're flat out on the motorbike and looking trim, in shape, and younger than ever. So
he did look younger than ever when I saw him, yeah.
I've not seen him for a while, so it'd be cool for Jerry to come back on the scene, you know, just for a bit of fun. And they were good times back in the late 90s.
The original
there, out with Jerry.
the founder of Dirt Magazine.
That's right, yeah, it was all his idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Joe Barnes has had a problem, 35 back.
Quick question in for Nigel again. He wants to know, one of the guests wants to know why, one of the viewers wants to know why some of your riders are running stickers that say "Stay Strong" on them.
Oh yes, the Stay Strong stickers are for a good friend of mine, Stephen Murray. I'm sure a lot of you know who he is. He was like a really top dirt jump rider that moved over to the States. Stephen won the X Games a few years ago with the first ever double backflipping competition, and then unfortunately the other year he actually crashed doing a double backflip, and he paralysed himself, a really horrendous injury. As you can imagine, you know, he needs a lot of rehab and money to pay for all his medical bills and stuff. And yeah, everyone's a lot of his good mates from the BMX community making T-shirts for him and doing events and dirt jump events. And the Stay Strong motto is really for Stephen, just to try and stay strong, and hopefully someday he'll be able to move. Get back and get a bit more movement out of his body. So Chris Kavarik's on track now, our top rider on the Chain Reaction Cycles Intense team. He's riding the new 951. A few of you guys were asking about.
Won here in 2002, Nigel, in incredible style with was it a 14-second win or something? It was 11 or something. It was insane, wasn't it?
Yeah, just under 15 seconds. I don't think Chris is going to do that today, but he's pretty close to Fabian on that final split time, 0.89. But Chris has got to dig in deep now and get on the pedals. As you can see, he's pretty tired on this bottom half, but he's going hard. Let's see what he's got here. It's going to be close, I think.
Everyone tired coming up to that last jump. So Chris Kavarik, one of the legends of Mountain Bike World Cup.
It's going to be close. Can he do it? Come on, Chris.
He's tight.
He's done it. Yes.
He's a second up. So the big powerhouse from Australia put it together, and it shows just how much time there is to be made on that lower part, just on that flat sprint there. Kavarik turned it around. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, he's going to be stoked with that. I mean, that's, you know, a lot down to the new 951, I think, on that bottom half of the track there, Rob.
All right, let's get these, stop these senseless adverts for your bike, for God's sake. So Strobel 2.06, very quickly going back to Stephen Murray, Nigel. Is there a web page where people can go and buy this stuff? And I guess Stay Strong or Stephen Murray will probably search it out. But
yeah, if you go on and search out Murray Strong, StephenMurray.com, there's a lot of websites, there's a lot of people doing some amazing stuff for Stephen there, like the whole BMX community is still behind him. It's a sad case, but Stephen is like, he's just amazing. Last time I was out in California, went to visit him, and I can't believe like the determination he has, you know, to get better.
Yeah.
He's got horrific
injuries. You don't get to the top of a sport without being a determined fella. I only met him once at a bike show, and he was a lovely, lovely guy. And like you said, mate, it's a terrible shame.
He was kind of like Petey of the, you know, dirt jump world. Everyone loved him. He's an amazing rider. Yeah. Always dead happy. Always stoked to be at events and stuff.
It was like I'd known the bloke 50 years. I only bumped into him, and he was really cool.
So everybody, if you can, please just if you see any of the stuff for sale or go online, just, you know, buy it. It's really cool stuff. A lot of the real good, cool BMX companies have designed some cool T-shirts and stuff. So, you know, you're going to look cool and also help a really good case out there.
Absolutely. So there you go, worthy cause there. And you know, I don't have Stephen watches much downhill mountain biking, but if you do, mate, all the best for your recovery. So Cameron Cole on track then. Another huge New Zealander riding for Maxis Rocky Mountain. Sixth in South Africa on a course not too dissimilar, with the bottom section a little bit like this. Probably this flows a little bit better than that one did. Not quite as flat and as long, but Cole, big man.
Oh, nice whip there. Look at the power he's got left at the bottom. He's a really strong rider. Cameron, he's an ex-junior world champion when it was in New Zealand, and but he's quite a bit off the time there, you can see. So
5:05, 5:06, yeah, 5:05.56. So at the moment, Chris Kavarik, the legend that is, winning, and he's the fastest. Second to him, a three-time world champion, Fabian Burrell, on a 4:49.93 back, nearly a second back off Kavarik, so he did put in a good run there. Podmanau is third from France, Luke Strobel from the USA fourth, McDonald in fifth from the USA. Sorry, from New Zealand in 6th. Button from Australia 8th. 7th is Sudling from Italy. Sandale in 8th. Tom Braithwaite, the UK rider, in 9th. And in 10th, rounding out the top 10, last night's 4-cross winner at the moment, Jared Rando, some 5
No, that was Jared Graves there.
Sorry, mate.
But no worries, another fast Australian riding for your team,
close.
Giant, Rob.
Sorry, Rando in 10th, excuse me. Rounding out the top 10.
Maybe I missed something last night, but I thought it was Jared Graves that won. Was it, Annika? Maybe you can clear that one up.
All right.
Same first name.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on, Rob.
So we are getting towards the top 10 here now, top 20 here now. I've had a heavy week, man. It's been a nightmare up here. So
how long do you think that time of Chris's is going to hold out there, Rob? What do you think?
Can I look at your start list? Do you know what, mate? I think it's pretty good. It's weird this afternoon. Usually it just builds and builds, but it hasn't, you know. Chris, people aren't really getting near those times. I don't know if the course is degenerating. I wouldn't have thought it was getting rough enough to really start slowing down. It has in years gone by. Do you remember people used to qualify bad to try and get a better track? But this year they've done an awful lot of work on this track here.
Yeah, I don't think it matters too much here, does it? I mean,
no.
Like today when it's, where most tracks are easier to ride when it's dry, this is actually pretty slippy at the top, innit? When it's dry, all the rocks are loose. And it's actually, I think, easier to ride when there's a bit of moisture on the ground, Rob. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. It certainly binds it up a little bit, doesn't it? It's quite loose and slow. I haven't even got this guy on my start.
He's a legend of the sport, David Vasquez Lopez. He's been on the scene a long time, Rob, hasn't he?
Lopez, he certainly has. One of the was teammates with me on Giant back in the day.
I remember when he won Leger World Cup. Was that when he was back riding for Specialised?
You know how long this guy's been around? I mean, he's incredible. He's a winner of 4 World Cups, which is pretty impressive.
Considering he's a fairly small guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's ever so fit though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's strong, isn't he?
Strong. You know what, he's close to quitting a few years ago. He was Vasquez as well. He said he was going to give it one more go.
He seems to have picked it up a bit this year. He's had some good results so far.
Yeah, definitely has, isn't he?
He's coming in with a really hot time here.
Well, Vasquez, he's good on the technical, he's good on the pedalling. He's 2.53 back, drops him in a 4th place behind Kavarik, Burrell and Podmanel.
Pretty good time.
Who's your money on for this afternoon? Nick Beard then, the Swissman.
He did really good the last World Cup in Andorra. He placed 6th.
That's right, he did, didn't he?
Oh, he's only 0.59 down on this time, so he's actually quicker than Kavarik going into that section.
But Kavarik was strong on this bottom section, Nige.
He was.
He's got some thighs and calves on him, that man.
He has, but riding flat pedals on this bottom section,
yeah,
which I don't think's an advantage, is it?
No, it's definitely doable for Nick Beer. Like we said, we saw his brother Marcel come through. Wins a lot of the European Cup races, does Beer. We called him the man with the perfect name. He nicks Beer. Gets it free. Doesn't get any
this is going to be a good time. I think he's just going to be outside that time of Kavarik. So Kavarik really fast on that bottom.
He did. He stormed that bottom section. So we are very pleased to say, I wouldn't like to say I was glad to see Fabian get knocked out of the hot seat, but it means he's able to join us here in the commentary booth. The 3-time world champion that is Fabian Burrell is going to join us. I'm going to pass over to Fabian, so thanks a lot, Rob. Steve Smith is up. The Canadian Chainsaw Massacre has put it together. Won the US Open in 2008. And then started to look really good at these World Cups, and then he had that, well, I think he cracked his shin just below his knee, so he's been out, injuries have slowed him down. But Steve Smith is sprinting on this lower section. I think he's going to put a good time together. Excuse me. Annika.
Yes, he's going to do it. Look at it.
He's going to do it. Steve Smith coming up to the line. It's going to be close. Oh, he's done it by half a second. Well, Steve Smith's returned to form. He looks like he's over those injuries, riding for MS Evil Bicycles. Going to see his teammate Likkonen in a little while. Steve Smith doesn't even look like he's breathing. Right,
all right,
Annika,
I'm going to pass it on to
thank you
Fabian.
very much for joining us. Now we have got the 3-time world champion. Stop, you've been smoking again, Fabian. You've got to lay off that for you, Dave. Gelwars, mate, you know what I mean? It ain't good for you. You'd have been top 10 today if you'd laid off those bad boys.
All right, thank you everybody, and thank you for the lovely questions we got in. And
yeah, We had to skip all the ones that mentioned the word rack.
Well, enjoy watching and talk to you guys next time. All right, here you go, Fabian.
Can I have your start list?
All right, hello everyone. Well, hello Rob, good afternoon.
How are you, Fabian?
Very good, yourself?
I'm very good, mate. So you can give us a little bit of a...
well, quite pleased, you know. Yeah, well, we can see actually Andrew coming in. It's quite a good time, but yeah, a bit of the pace, unfortunately, on the other probably made a mistake. But yeah, on my side, super pleased. I mean, I just come back this weekend after 7 weeks injury, so yeah. Well, I was normally supposed to wait for longer, but I tried to put a knee brace on and be able to restart riding to don't lose so much skills and so much fitness. So yeah, I'm super happy. I managed to hold on quite a good run, really good on the top, and lost quite a bit of time at the bottom on the pedaling. As you could see, Chris took me like 2 seconds on the bottom part just on the pedaling section. So well, need to be fit again, and this knee brace is taking me a bit of time, you know, as well to get used to it, but also the weight to get the balance on, etc. So no, can't complain. Really happy, stuck to had a good run. I was really on the edge and find a good skill, a lot of adrenaline. So everything you expect from downhill racing.
Good, mate. Really good to see you back there. So Fairclough, 7th overall in this year's World Cup. Won the dual slalom at the US Open.
So
well,
we know Brandon is very skillful. Look at how high he's going on the jumps. I mean, we know the bottom section is tough for him, and he probably lost a bit of time on the pedaling section at the bottom. But on the other hand, I mean, we know Brandon is capable to do amazing riding on the upper section, and it would be really interesting to actually see the upper part of his run.
Yeah, it would have been good. Unfortunately, we're not getting live images from up there. Wearing that 2010 kit.
Oh, very good, Justin.
Leoff, nearly half a second up.
Well, he had a big crash on the semi-final, and that's why he start actually just out of the top 20. He's been racing amazingly fast since the beginning of the season, riding for the new Trek team, and he's actually feeling amazing, was telling me on the bike. And we know that he is strong on the pedaling section, so I really believe that he's going to be on a good time for the finish. And look how hard and strongly he's pedaling, carrying so much speed, clearing the jump really easily, because we know that they're quite long, and look, carrying a lot of speed into the forecross, and well, he's going to make it for sure. Look at that.
Yeah, the tired legs there showing over that.
There we go. Whoa!
New fastest time for Leo.
He actually lost a bit of time on the pedaling at the bottom on the section we just see. Yes, Chris did a really good bottom section, and actually pretty impressed about Steve Smith that actually pedaled well on flats on the downside. So no, it's pretty amazing, and well done to Justin for that really nice run.
So into the hot seat then. Steve Smith with a 448.33. Steve Smith from Canada just behind him with a 448.37. Kavarik in third with a 448.96. The voice you're hearing next to me, Fabian Barral, a great comeback after injury for him with the fourth fastest time at the moment, 449.89. Podmanel 5th, Beer 6th, Vasquez Lopez 7th, Fairclough 8th, Strobel 9th, and McDonald in 10th. So that's the top 10 at the moment.
We just seen actually Justin climbing, or should I say crawling, on the back of the truck to actually sit on the hot seat, and it's been really challenging for him. I'm sure that the pedaling section at the bottom is killing everyone. I mean, I know on my side we're really tough, and you got so much acid in your legs, and trying to be able to squat the jump, don't go too hard, too high, and try to carry a good speed. So no, it was pretty amazing to be able to actually pedal so hard at the bottom, and we've seen Justin doing really well.
Well, it's young Danny Hart, the 17-year-old from the UK, riding for Lapierre Saab Salem. We just saw his teammate Vasquez. This guy is leading the Junior World Cup at the moment. 3.56 from at the back. You wouldn't think this bottom section is suit him, but he looks to be carrying good speed, Fabian.
No, he is actually. Look out on the jumps, he's staying quite low, and he managed to pedal really hard. I mean, we've seen Danny really talented on the beginning of the season on all the technical section, and he's pulling amazing runs since the beginning of the weekend. We saw him amazing on the semi-final, being in the top 20, which is, I think, the first time of his life. And look, he's clearing the jump really nicely, pedaling really hard, and I mean, I think he's going to do a good time, and definitely the lead for the juniors times.
It's a great time. You'd have to say this guy's favourite for the Junior World Championship in Cabriolet this year. 3.1 back for him. His dad told me it's the first time he's brought his girlfriend with him.
Yeah, that might help, you know. It's an extra motivation.
He's going to have his girlfriend back every race now,
Not sure if the energy coming from the support during the day or during the night, but you will tell me better, Rob, I think.
Excuse me, made me cough up my water. Right, Red Bull UK have just joined us in the commentary booth. Is it true you're staying in the house they filmed Harry Potter in? There you go. See, they don't mess about.
There we go, Fabien Cousinier.
Any second now. So Fabien Cousinier on track.
Yeah, Cousinier, come on. You said that you were working your French names for the races.
I bought a tape, but he told me how to say hello. That's as far as I got. Bonjour.
Yeah, and you put the accent. Well, we can actually see all the upper section now. We see him carrying a really good speed, and we were explaining just earlier how hard is the track, and just for now, you guys been seeing just the bottom part of the track. Now you see all the upper part, which is actually a lot rougher and a lot more technical than as you can see, not as much pedaling, but yeah, that's...
the top selection. I mean, you know, Fabian, I've raced here a few times. It's so physical. We're not really getting it on the live images, but before they get here, you are done by the time you get to this point.
Well, for sure, when you arrive at this point, you already have about 4 minutes 20 into your legs of absorbing the impacts, of trying to carry Xfinity to rock gardens, and this is already really tiring. And when you arrive at this point, it's 40 to 45 minutes of pedaling and squatching jump that is waiting for you. Oh, we can see a problem there.
I think his chain's off, or a puncher or something. Look like his chain's up there.
Yeah,
so Cousine's done. It's all over.
As we know, and the times are so close that this is finished. Oh, he gets actually a puncher. Yeah, and you can see that he's got probably the tube in his cassette.
You might as well just chill out, because he ain't going to win it now.
No, you're not going to get any time. And
I'd probably just lay it over.
That's probably unfortunate. Yeah,
up, baby. It's done. It's all over, mate.
Probably Fabien should be on the side of the track. Here we go. That's what he's doing, though.
So we're seeing a lot less punches than we might. So the top 10 at the moment: Leo from Smith, from Kavarik, from Barral, from Podmanel, from Beer, from Hart, Vasquez in 8th, Fairclough 9th, and Strobel in 10th. So, look, don't get in a strop with it, mate. It's all over. It's done. Your mechanics watching, you're not going to be happy, is it?
Well, you know, it's always tough. You know, we're definitely doing a mechanical sport, and you have to accept the rules of it. I mean, the bike is not fiable 100%, unfortunately. We can get puncture, we can break parts, especially on a so long and so rough track, so it's always very challenging.
Dan Stambridge, Prince William lookalike, makes a fortune on the side, you know.
Yeah, he's
goes to all sorts of things all over the country, functions.
Well, we know Dan always did really well on that track. He's very physical, he's training hard, and he's capable to hold on like really smooth lane. Riding for the Mojo team, he's been amazing for a couple years on that track. So it'll be interesting to see how much speed he can carry. You can see that all those jumps, and then when he's coming into all the woods section, he's carrying a lot of speed through, pedaling hard, trying to get a bit of a breath on the section where he's actually stopping pedaling, you know, a bit of sitting, trying to get the acid out of the legs. And here we go again, he's going to the rough section, jumping in, and he's actually pretty good on the technical section. I'm pretty impressed.
Section up there frightened the life out of me. We just miss it there, but as you turn right, it's just a long, straight pinball alley of rocks. Where you're trying to stay off the
it is. But you try to actually stay on the top of the rocks, but unfortunately, with all the passage, few rocks are going out, and you got like some massive holes, and you got to make sure that you never put your front wheel into that, because that's an over the bar for sure.
It's even hard to find spots to brake, because you have to lift over the holes, then brake, then lift, then brake.
You got no grip. Yeah, that's true. So no, it's definitely one of the most challenging parts, coming to a really loose bump. So it's always very challenging. We see down now on the bottom section actually carrying a good time. He's trying hard and doing really well, but you can see that he's pretty tired right now. All the energy is gone.
Back in a 10th place for Dan Stambridge then. Mojo team. Pretty much the reason that skin suits were banned. We're going to see the man that sorted it out. Cathro. Well, it wasn't an advantage for him because it was baggy on him. It was so thin.
It's actually really challenging. It would be a hard and long discussion. There is many parameters, but apparently the UCI find the right rule to keep the look all right and being able to have everyone on a fair play. So well, everyone seems happy about it, and for sure on a track like that, when you got a lot of wind at the top, it's always really challenging. We can see Fabien, you know, still trying to go. Yeah, he is. Well, he's a man. Look at that, still jumping in on the flat tire. That's brilliant. We can definitely give him a big cheers. He didn't give it up, so no, that's good. Very good man. Mentally, he doesn't give it up. That's really good. Well, I guess that's show what a mental sport we're doing. I mean, we know that we're working out on the bike, we're working out physically, we're doing our best to actually be the fastest. But being able to hold on mentally, all the pressure you have on the shoulders, and hold on, you know, the focus on the so long run, it shows like how you need to push yourself to actually be a damn warrior for those kind of races.
Well, it's Duncan Riffle on track from the USA. I called him the tattooed millionaire. Covered in ink, isn't he? He's a mess.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely.
Man.
But look how hard he is going for. You know, he's pedaling hard. He's 3 seconds down now, but you know that he's just giving it. You know.
18th overall in this year's World Cup standings. Said to me, "Don't call me the tattooed millionaire. I'm skint. I've spent every penny on the team I'm running." He's running his own team there for Giant Nerd, which is a bit like America's version of Chain Reaction Cycles or something. Oh dear, Fabian's just been called to doping.
What the devil is that?
Okay. They're a real laugh, those UCI doping guys. So
even the commentator they're trying to get for doping. What the devil's going on? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna send Rob, and for sure I'll be positive. I tell you now.
Jesus Christ.
I can't go.
I did. It was sketchy enough when I was racing. It's not anymore though. Wow, Jesus. Are you the doping guy?
Yeah,
he can hang around till the end, can't he?
Can we wait?
He's not going to take any masking substances near, I promise you. I'll keep an eye on him.
Did you ask him?
He won't pee. He won't pee.
Okay.
I need to have a pee, but that's the old colon problem. It's my age.
Okay, is that right?
So Aaron Quinn Holmes on track right now. Riding for Yeti from California. This guy's a bit of a revelation, Fabian. Just started doing this.
It's been pretty impressive. Like first race, he actually got into the top 10. First race going from America, and he came in the 8th place. So everyone's really impressed, and he's been progressing so far a lot on all the last races. And I mean, everyone is expecting a lot because I mean, in the back years we haven't seen many Americans being capable to go in the top 20 of the World Cup, and he's actually the first one being able to come into it, and he's fit, he's talented, he's riding really well, riding for a good team, so well, we definitely need to keep an eye on him.
And his teammate Blenkinsop qualified, what was his second or
fourth, yeah, so he is a second up.
Quinn is up at the split, 1.66. That's quite a margin, really.
Pretty impressive. I mean, we know that he changed actually from flat to cleats for that track, and just to actually be being able to save a bit of time on the pedaling at the bottom, and he's actually making the right choice because you can still see him actually carrying all the jump, carrying a good speed into the finish line, whipping the bike off on the Nissan jump. So
it means he's carrying good speed if he's got time to do that. Fabian, just how hard is it? I mean, we see some of the guys sat down. He's going to go fastest though. So
he made some time. That's
1.61 up. It's huge for Quinn. He's happy with that. The nod of the head lets us know he's happy with his run.
He actually made a second, almost a second and a half, like a bit less than that on the bottom part. So making the right choice on the pedals. So pretty impressive for him.
So Quinn fastest. Leov in second. Quinn with a 4:46.72. Leov second, Steve Smith from Canada third, Chris Cavaric from Australia fourth, Fabian Burrell, who's joining me in the commentary booth in fifth, Pominel sixth, Beer seventh, Riffle eighth, Danny Hart, the youngster in ninth, and Vasquez Lopez rounding out the top 10 at now. We haven't got that many more left, so that was Quinn. 15 riders left to go. Robin Warner from Sweden next on track.
Here we go. That's the new team that's just been put out from all the northeast of Europe, and those guys been working really hard all the winter. We've seen him doing actually a lot of training camp at the bottom of France, in the south of France, riding in many trails, and those guys been pretty unreal and work big hard work for the whole winter. So really look forward to actually see what they're going to be capable to do. On the last races, we actually saw them being in the top 25 on many rounds. And he looks pretty smooth, really aggressive on the pedaling, riding for the French brand Sun Bicycle, which put out like a new bike since this year that apparently works super well. And we just saw him now coming out with a big whip onto the last finish section, and he's probably going to pedal strong. Let's see what is going to happen.
Fabian, no, he's 3.89 back, so Walden not really on fire on the upper part of this course. Fabian, just how physical is it? I mean, I remember here, you see a lot of these guys sat down, but if you want to be on the top of that podium this afternoon, you've got to be on top of your gear.
Well, you will see.
Spreading your heart out, because you cannot be sat down. Waldo is on
There is no choice. You see him actually. That's the way you need to pedal on that section. You can't put your ass on the saddle. You got to pedal hard.
He's moving. He's fast on this lower section. 23rd overall in the World Cup so far. I don't think he's going to take the lead. 67 through the speed trap. He's moving. And he's into
450, so it's 7th place. He's actually made quite a bit of time on the bottom part, as you see. No problem, Rob. And well, we've seen him actually doing really well. And I mean, we see that the bottom part is actually a lot of effort and very challenging for everyone. But on the other hand, we know that there is a whole length. The upper part is very technical. It's very rough. Takes a lot on the arms, a lot on the back, and it's actually really challenging. Here we go. Looks like someone, Yeti and Fox, making a good ad for them, making a lot of effort. So those guys been doing amazing. So yeah, well, that track, guys, I have one thing to tell you is that For William made an amazing run. I mean, he's been racing here since 2002, and the track.
The UK was the fastest qualifier, but they're all in there, the Menards, the Hills, the PTs.
Well, all the big guys are going to start coming now, and we know that the top 5 actually made an amazing gap on the semi-final. We saw that it's pretty unusual, but the whole top 10 was actually in 10 seconds or even more, 10 or 12 seconds. So we really look forward to actually see all those guys going down the 4. So if they go down into those time, be pretty unreal. And as you said, they will need to be really accurate and very precise on all the technical section and pedal them hard on the bottom part.
You've got to get those pedals in on the top sections as well, Fabian.
Yeah, it's very physical, you know. The pace, there is no choice. I mean, those guys that's going to go down in times now are going to be able to push all the way from top to bottom, and there is no discussion. You need to be giving it all.
Incredible speed on that open top section. How's the wind up there today? So Joe Smith, 7 seconds back there. Was it bad or not too bad?
Well, it's not too bad. It was really bad 2 days ago. Like he almost was stopping us out of the bumps. But today is actually quite alright. The soil is actually really dry. We got a lot of loose rocks in all those gravelly bumps, which are really challenging. But no, there is not much wind, which actually really helps. I tell you now, it's a real pain.
Field for everyone here this afternoon. No one should have an advantage. It's all
it should be fair. It should be a fair racing.
Fabian?
Well, to be honest, Mick and Greg will be really challenging to beat. I think this afternoon, Mick and Greg Minor. But on the other hand, I saw G having an amazing motivation for the whole weekend. He's been doing many runs and pushing himself really hard.
Well, he's never won here.
So, and he never won here.
One of the great British riders we've had over the last years, current world champion, never a winner on home soil. So, like you said, Fabian, he's going to be incredibly motivated here this afternoon, and his fastest qualifier. So, Pascal on track, the legend it is, the Frenchman riding for MSC.
Well, we know Michael. I mean, Michael is riding for years now, and he's always been very consistent in the top 10 of the World Cup, and even in the top 5 in the past time. So it's been pretty amazing, and Michael has got amazing skills on the technical section. But as we can see, he's riding on flat. He's got like a very unusual pedaling style. He's got like quite a high bike, and I think that he's going to be a bit slower in the bottom part. But on the other hand,
an incredible setup. You know, Fabian, I remember looking at his bike a few years ago at the European Championship, and he actually, you know, like for me, I used to reset my bars to make sure they were in line on my wheel, but he actually used to run them at an angle.
You would be surprised. You sit on his bike, his handlebar is not straight. He's got no compression dumping on his
and
shot.
That is how he wants
it. Just got a spring, and we actually see him being able to rebound from one place to the other on the track, and he's carrying an amazing speed, and Michael's got a really special style, but he always made it super fast to the bottom.
So here we go, just while we're waiting for Pascal coming to shot. Fastest qualifier was G. Atherton, 2nd, Greg Menard, 3rd, Mick Hanna, 4th was Blenky, Sam Blenkinsop, 5th, Sheffield Steele, Steve Peat, 6th, Sam Hill, 7th, Bryn Atkinson putting a run together in the qualifier, 8th was Likenen, 9th was Ben Cathro, and 10th, rounding out the top 10, Mark Bowman. All the big guns of world downhill will be firing here this afternoon. Very shortly indeed, and there is Aaron Gwyn Holmes in the hot seat, and he's put an incredible run together.
That'd be pretty amazing racing. I mean, we know and we explain how those guys will have to push this afternoon. The times are going to be really close, and we really look forward to see this big show now.
Well, Pascal there, disappearing off the radar like an Air France flight. I don't know what happened to him.
I hope it's not the old Concorde. Thank you, Rob.
a lot of a Concorde and other parts, haven't they, huh?
So we actually, I think now we see Bernard Guardia on the time, and I think he's been pushing really hard all weekend. But this morning on the training, I almost rolled on him. He did a massive over the bar into the wood and injured himself a little bit on his shoulder. But we can see that he's pushing hard, still on the track this afternoon, trying to get a good run in. He's very talented and very skillful rider. You can see his long leg, he's absorbing a lot with it, and he's still very fit and pedaling hard, so we should be actually having a pretty good time from him.
Riding for MSC, the Spanish rider, 4 times a Spanish national champion. He's on the gas, he knows how to ride his bike. 15th overall in this year's World Cup, coming into this round.
Well, you're going to have a Spanish war, huh? Because he's not riding for MSC, he's riding for Massey Bicycle. Yeah, so you're going to be in trouble, Rob. Well, we can see him coming, and he's actually doing quite a good time. And he's coming into 4th place in 4:58.39. And after the crash he had this morning, it's pretty impressive. He actually has been really stepping it up. Oh, we can see Michael coming. Yeah.
I seem to remember Pascal getting punches quite a lot. I think it's his violent riding style.
Well, he is actually not making the material easy on itself, but he's been pushing hard in Valno as well and got a puncher as well, so it's really bad luck for him. But we know that, unfortunately, on my side, like when I come into the race, I'm always a lot more aggressive, and I don't watch out so much to the material, and you know, you go straight in and think. So you're actually gonna push hard, and you know that you. Personally, I always increase my pressure for the race run because I know that I'm gonna be more aggressive.
Yeah, well, I used to do that a little bit too. It gives a little bit of a different feel, but you know, like you say, Fabian, especially when you get tired, the smoothness tends to go out of your riding style. You start just whacking through stuff, and punches do happen. And Fort William,
just
despite the amazing advances in technology, I mean, a few years ago, 50% of the entry wouldn't get down this track, but now they do. And on track now, we've got Junior World Champion Josh Bryceland riding for the Santa Cruz Syndicate. Had a 9th of the last round in Andorra. So we're expecting big things of him. This is probably not the best track for him. He's not the most powerful of riders on this lower section. The taller thing, but he's up. He has put it together on the top half of this track. Can he hold it for the lower section? What do you think, Fabian?
Well,
he needs to be stood up, getting on the pedals, Bryceland.
We saw Gwyn actually pedaling really hard and making an amazing bottom. So I bet it's going to be really challenging for Josh. But he is definitely on the pedal. Look at him pushing. He's not putting his start down. So
pedals there. Disadvantage,
pushing hard.
Come on, Bryceland, get on those pedals.
He is going for it, so it'll be interesting to see. Time's going to be close. He's 1, 2. Whoa, he's going to be down.
67.
He's almost there. Come on, you pedal. Oh, made it.
Oh, half a second up for it, Josh Bryceland.
That's pretty impressive.
Has found form here in Fort William this afternoon. He will be thrilled to have done that on home soil. So the 08 Junior World Champion.
Impressive. We remember that at the Worlds he'd been unlucky and got a puncher on the World Championship when he was junior, and he pulled it out. I mean, for him it's a top 10 time for sure that he's made. He's been impressive, probably did an amazing technical section, and glad to see him on the top of the hot seat right now.
Yeah, Bryceland put one together there. He's, like we say, he's took the fastest time. 10 to go here in Fort William, round 4, UCI Mountain Bike World Cup. Bryceland with a 4:46.15. Gwyn in 2nd from the USA, Leof's 3rd at the moment, Steve Smith from Canada in 4th, Pascal Guardia in 5th, Kavarik, the legend, 6th, Burrell sat next to me, that's his voice you're hearing right now, 7th, and I bet he's not too disappointed with that after 2 months out with an injury. Podman out 8th, Wellner 9th, and Nick Biff rounding out the top 10.
Well, I'm especially happy because I'm looking at the intermediary time right now, and my time is still the best intermediary on the first section,
there you go,
as you can see, and I know that my strengths and my fitness actually made me lose time on the down part, so can't complain. Really happy about my weekend.
He's a winning machine. He's got the stats. He's already sussed out he was quickest on top.
It's like analysing the time. And
this is what it takes to win 3 world championships, ladies and gentlemen. The man's a machine, and he doesn't miss a trick. And as he might not, you know, not only brilliant technically, but fit and very clever as well. Fabian,
you have to. Thank you.
You need all those. You need all those ingredients. So Mark Beaumont on track, riding for GT. on a new team this year after 3 years on the MBUK team.
Well, Mark's been pretty impressive all the beginning of the weekend. We saw him a little back on the top 10, but not on the front of the scene since the beginning of the season. But he changed his bike, which is working really differently than the Santa Cruz, and he probably needs to relearn where are the advantages of that bike compared to the other one. And I think he's trying to find his pace right now. We saw him having a pretty good rhythm all the weekend, and you can see him through the rock gardens, managing to actually carry a good speed. And definitely his bike is going to be a good bike for the down part. So he's just 1 second down, but I wouldn't be surprised that he make it to the bottom and actually make time on Josh.
I totally agree with you, Fabian. He's really strong. We know he trains hard. He's really fit. He's clipped in, and he is going for it on this motorway into the finish line.
He is clearing all the jumps easy.
A two-time national champ from the UK. Sorry, Fabian.
No problem. He's carrying a really good speed, clearing the jump all nicely. And you see how strong he is pedaling even after that speed. You guys, I tell you now, we are approximately almost 70 km an hour on those sections, and you need to damn go on the pedal. He is not far.
1.19, so Bryceland then, even despite his rather thin body build, he put the power down he needed to on that lower section. Beaumont, 10th overall coming into the World Cup, into this round.
We've seen actually all the UK riders improving their skills a lot in all the past years, and we see many good riders coming up from Australia and from England. And we saw those guys actually has been really skillful and learn a lot in the last 2 or 3 years, and being able now to put a bit of professionalism into the thing, training more and getting the fitness, getting the mental on the top of their skills, and that makes the good result. That's why we see Mark and Josh and many
of these guys brought on by Steve
actually,
as well.
Yeah, brought by Steve. We know that Steve has always been sharing a lot his experience with all those kids, and I mean, that's why Steve's got so much charisma, because
I used to hate Steve, man,
actually
like 5, 6, maybe more years ago when he started out with Mark Beaumont. I was like, what are you doing, you idiot? He's going to start beating us. And sure enough, he started beating me. He's never really had the dominance of the big man. So thanks for that, Steve. I could still be riding now if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, but he understood that was an extra motivation for him. Having his kids pushing on his back. I mean, you see him now, he's 35 and still pushing everyone and winning races. And I mean, that's the way to do it.
Steve will be at the top of this hill on a turbo trainer, 5th fastest qualifier. He's got a knuckle injury he sustained at the Lisbon downhill, but we don't think that's going to hold him back. Roscoe said the hard man from Sheffield won't feel that once he sets off.
Definitely not.
So all the guys now at the top. We've got 8 to go, 9 to go here in Fort William this afternoon. The next man on track will be another Scottish rider, Ben Cathro. The tall, lanky, thin,
coming in, so pretty impressive for him. Like already last year and already at the World,
he did that
last
year or something. He had an incredible run.
Yeah, he actually did an amazing run, and he's not coming from his fitness, because he is not one of the fittest, but he's actually carrying an amazing speed on the upper parts in all those rock gardens. He's managing to actually make his way through and leave the bike, you know, on his own, and being able to move and still keep his body in a straight line. And this is a very unusual riding style that he's putting out every year on this track. So let's see what Ben's going to be able to do.
Yeah, he's incredibly tall. So we're joining him now for the live. Cathro, I hope he hasn't had a problem. I don't think so. It's probably just the way it's edited.
Well, he must have, because he should be out since quite a while already. Normally they need to pad like in a 4:05 on the wood jump, on the ski jump, and he is not out. So it's probably going to be really challenging for him now. It's probably over, to be honest, between you and I. So
it's over for Cathro. Let's
hope
he's
just hope it's a mechanical,
not a crash somewhere
not a crash,
up there. The man who single-handedly got skin suits banned here last season because he looked so bad at them.
Well, on the other hand, we actually seen Ben pushing really hard, and those skin suit story that he had wasn't really fair. I mean, it's his own choice. I can understand that everyone wants to.
Choice.
Yeah, well, on the other hand, I'm not so sure
that. It was baggy on him.
It was.
It wasn't really a skin suit. He's so thin they couldn't get one tight enough.
Oh, he couldn't get one tight enough for him.
He had more wind resistance than anyone up there.
So we must have a bit of a gap, guys, because it's 3 minutes now between the riders.
Yeah.
So that's why, and Ben apparently must have a mechanical, which we hope so. Because between you and I mean, we know, Rob, that track is really rocky, and you don't want to fall on it. You don't want to crash.
I mean,
there is tree, there is rocks.
I mean, it's very easy to puncture. We've seen a lot of punctures, maybe less than we used to. Track's not as hold out, perhaps, as it can be, but it's easy enough up there as well. I used to go through rear derailleurs here like they were going out of fashion.
No, well, now the derailleurs get a bit more shadow, so you actually be able to actually
less of this problem, but the puncher, everyone is going higher in pressure. And with that loose soil that we talk about, like it's really hard, really gravelly and really dry right now, and all those bumps are really, really challenging.
There he is, the good-looking young Manc, Josh Bryceland, made a really unbelievable video in Andorra. Respect, respect on that. You can see it on YouTube. Just type in Josh Bryceland.
I haven't seen it, but
yeah. So who? Come on in, Fabian. Money where your mouth is. Who do you think's going to win it this afternoon?
Okay, I bet my money on Greg. I bet my money on Greg because for a few reasons he is capable to hold on really well the pressure like everyone is, but on the other hand I think he'll be able to actually set his run really well. He proved that in South Africa. He showed that he was on the right pace, and I know that G's going to make a lot of effort into it, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the front, but I know that Greg's going to put out an amazing bottom, and everyone's going to ride the same speed on the upper part. I don't think that you can make much time there, but on the other hand the bottom's going to make the difference.
Really? Okay, well, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I want Steve to win, home soil, you know, I love him to win, no secret, he's a good friend of mine, but I think Hill might do it because if he's on form, there is no stopping him, and he was, you know, he's won here before, twice the winner here in 06.
Yeah, don't forget that when Sam won that year, there is actually Greg that has a dislocated shoulder in the wood, if you remember well.
True.
And I had a broken foot, if you remember as well. So I wouldn't say that Sam is the faster on that track, but let's see who's betting on money on. Well, Matty actually made an amazing jump on the rock gap. So
Matty liking a real return to form for him, riding for MS Evil Bicycles. We haven't seen much of him since the broken back, then the broken wrist.
He's been working a lot on his bike, like working on his geometry. He's been struggling a bit on this new bike on the beginning of the season, but look how he is on the pedal. That's what we talk about now. Pushing really hard, squatting the jump, pedaling strongly. That's what it is. I mean, that's an amazing gap he just made.
He's not scared. He's had more injuries than anyone, and he is not scared. Lykinen to go big. He's going to be 0.29. So Bryceland, despite having the build of a baby giraffe, has put some power down on the lower part of this track.
Pretty unreal.
To hold on to it. Bryceland really shocked me there, you know, on the flat pedals.
Pretty impressive. And you've seen Matty. Did you see the gap he just did? I mean, you guys, I have one thing to tell you. I mean, the TV is actually making everything slower, and everything you see just double the speed. I mean, we're coming in that thing at 65k an hour and jumping the gap he just made. I mean, he is not scared. There is no doubt.
No, he is not scared. He's a wild man. We've seen him have some horrendous injuries, that broken neck or broken back, whatever it was. Then he broke both wrists last year. He said that was probably the worst flight of his life.
Are we
talking
the
air stewardesses to help him go to the toilet? He couldn't do a thing, bless him.
That's true.
Can you imagine coming back from Australia like that? Yet still Lykinen digs deep, throws it 40, 50 foot down that last drop there.
Unreal.
So, yeah, he's
are we talking soon for actually George top 5 for the World Cup? He never done that before, and I mean, he's on the hot seat now. There is about 7 cars to come down.
He's got a very, very good chance.
So if 2 of those actually not beat him, he's going to be on the podium, which would be unreal.
Well,
how old is Josh now?
I mean, Bryson, I was a little worried about him. We didn't see much from him the first 2 rounds. He was 9th in Le Brest. Maybe just Andorra, excuse me. Maybe just gave him that little boost of confidence, Fabian. You know very well how mentally
it's important for sure. No, I completely agree. I mean, he's got a strong support from all the Santa Cruz Syndicate team, and those guys has been pushing him without getting pressure on him. And as you said, I mean, doing the result he did in Val Nor and feeling good in your head, you actually feel more confident. You use less energy on your bike, and that's where you make time at the bottom because you're smoother and you
confidence.
Exactly. You don't tight your body so much on the bike, and that's a big help.
Confidence, mate. It's all about confidence. And Bryceland, well, there he is in the hot seat at the moment. Josh Bryceland with a 446.50. Lykinen in second. Matty Lykinen coming back from injury. That was an incredible run for him. Really going to be happy with that. 446.44. His self-doubt is going out the window. Gwyn in third. Mark Beaumont fourth. Fifth. Leov sixth. Steve Smith from Canada, a return to form from him as well after some injuries. Gardia Pascal 7th, 8th is Kavarik, 9th Fabian Barral, the other voice you're hearing here this afternoon, and Fabian Pedmanel in 10th. So you're watching round 4 of this and UCI Man Bike World Cup live and exclusive on Freecaster with myself, Rob Warner, and Fabian Barral, and there are only 7 guys to go, so this is where the action hots up. All the big guns are yet to fire here in Fort Bill. Bryn Atkinson on track.
Well, he's actually back. As you can see, he's in 4:30. Normally he should get out in 4:05, and you can see that he's seated on the bike, probably had a mistake. He's been really confident. He talked to me a lot in Val Nor. He did an amazing top 10. He's riding for his own team, his own structure, which is really hard to manage.
With his girlfriend Jill.
Actually, and he's been putting a lot of effort into racing, into training, and I was really happy to see him in Val Nor being able to do what he has done. He was getting confidence yesterday, but you know, racing is everything. Being able actually to put everything together. And Bryn probably had a little problem or a little mistake there, but you see, still being able to calm down and whipping and showing the crowd what mountain bike is about. And I mean, very good person, always very talented, and look, giving the pleasure for everyone.
Big whips from Bryn Atkinson. Yeah, he's had some problems on the way down. Maybe a fall, I would think, wouldn't you, Fabian?
Yeah, probably. We don't see any dirt on his skid. We don't see any mechanicals. But, you know, sometimes, I mean, it's really easy to make a big mistake.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's very disappointed because he's putting a lot of effort into it. But being able to accept to fail, that's how you build yourself for the victories. And I'm sure that Bryn's going to be able to do it.
And there's Miami Vice chilling out in the hot seat. We're going to see a lot more of that man in that seat over the next few years, I'm sure.
Yeah, one more person is going to be in the top 5. First World Cup podium for Josh if he makes it, which could be pretty unreal. So
he'll be celebrating hard tonight.
Oh, there is no doubt.
He might have learned a lot from Penny about racing, but he's also learned a lot from him about playing. Holy shit, that boy goes for it. Woo!
We must
Bryson, man, he's a pie animal. He loves it. Good lad. Let's hope he does well this afternoon.
No,
so, Fabian.
He's really, I mean, he's already in the top, he's probably already in the 7th place, which is pretty unreal for him.
Sam Hill
so
on track, rocking the new 2010 Sex Pistols Troy Lee kit. Available now in all good retailers. Reddit, send me some kit for Christ's sake. There's your plug. Hill can be the fastest man on track. When he's on form, he's unstoppable. He was incredible in Andorra a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
I mean, how fast was he going?
Yeah, that was unreal. We saw him pushing really hard on that jump on the one we fell. And there is your bet, Rob. I mean, except having some royalties with Troy Lee Design, you got to explain us why you have so much support. But we know that Sam is unreal, and he's actually 3 to 4 seconds ahead. Let's see the split.
There you go. I was right.
He is actually dead fast. He's 5 seconds down.
6 seconds down. Look at the time.
That's
it is
unreal.
massive. Hill is faster and looser than Linford Christie's lunchbox. The man knows how to pin it like no other, and when he's on form, he is unstoppable.
We are seeing, you know, the top guys now, and we know that those guys are going to be making like a big difference now. The top 6 that is coming now is going to make a massive difference, and 5 second gap is actually unreal. So let's see what Sam's going to do, but also the others behind.
Up to the line. This is it. This is the new benchmark from Hill. He goes massive. He has smashed them nearly 6 seconds. Hill, has he done enough here this afternoon? That's a tough one for the next guys to beat. That's a huge run from Sam Hill.
We actually seen like 10 seconds actually between the 1st and the 7th place on the semi-finals. So let's see what the gap's going to be. We know that 7th is like 10 seconds. He's 5 seconds ahead. So if we make like a good calculation, I wouldn't be surprised that there is still 2 to 3 seconds to make for the perfect run for someone like G, Mick, or
really? You think there's
Greg.
that much time
So
left, maybe?
I think there is 2 to 3 seconds to make if the consistency we saw on the semi-final has been made. That's what we should be able to see now on the 5 next guys that's going to be coming. So let's see what's going to happen. But Sam's been putting definitely an amazing run, and he's showing again his consistency through the World Cups on all the different tracks. He's capable to ride fast on every track.
Yeah, which is maybe in the past not so true, but like he shocked everyone, I think, in South Africa this year with that 4th place in round 1 on a track that really didn't suit him.
No one was expecting him to be so good in South Africa, and again he's been able to put everything together, and that's what show how mental is important. He's definitely having a lot of motivation. He's amazingly talented, bringing new skills, bringing new effort into the sport, and he's definitely someone we need to keep an eye on.
He's quite revolutionary in the sport, really, Fabian.
Yeah,
a little bit with his style of riding, you know, the flat pedals, the loose style. He throws it in there, he gets loose, he slides.
And also when you see him riding, he's something that maybe you were doing back in the years, but he never moves his pedal and keep his pedal flat all the time. So here he is, the big man now.
Here he is, Sheffield still. Steve P, can he make it 3 in a row? Winner of the last 2 rounds. Petey will dig deep here for his home crowd. The passionate Englishman is on track, Fabian. You think he can do it?
He can do it. I mean, Steve has been amazing since the beginning of the year. Having his new baby is actually changing his mindset. Yeah. He's feeling a lot more free on the bike, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the top of the game again this weekend. I mean, he's been amazing again on the semi-final, on all the races. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't be on the top of the game today.
Well, Pete, he will be digging deep. The family are here in the newborn child.
He is coming. I think he's a little back on Sam, probably maybe 2 to 3 seconds. Let's see the split time. But apparently he's slightly back on Sam, if I'm right. Let me see, guys.
I guess you are.
Yeah, he's actually 5 seconds back.
So Hill has done something special on the upper part of this track. Steve cannot make that up on the ball. We're not going to see 3 in a row here, Fabian.
No,
that's for sure.
That's not going to happen. I mean, if you see now, Steve, what the run is going to do, he's definitely going to be able to be on a good podium, but he's going to be on the side of Josh time, which is going to be pretty unreal for Josh if you look at it. And but Steve is pushing hard. He's giving it all.
Down that finish line, Hill. Number 1 on his plate, the current World Cup leader. Steve knows more about winning than anyone else I know. He hasn't had the greatest run here. Point plus 4.18 back with Steve P.
He made a second on a pedaling at the bottom.
And he's in second place despite being 4 seconds back. And I got a feeling, Fabian, I might be right, and Hill's going to be your man this afternoon.
All right, let's see what's going to happen, if you're right or not. But definitely, if you look at the time, he is just like maybe 1.5 seconds on the front of Josh, which maybe probably brought from
highway to Hill.
So we can see you guys. I mean, Robert's probably getting something on Sam, but he's definitely cheering for him. So let's see what's going to happen. For me, all the good guys, I mean, are still to come. The top 3,
the big guys,
and Graham, for me, are the big guns of this weekend.
Up next, Fabian.
Yeah, Blanky will definitely. I mean, he's been impressive. I wasn't expecting to see him on the semi-final at that point.
I agree with you.
So pretty impressive.
I haven't really seen much from Sam Blenkinsop, the New Zealander riding for Yeti, since that win in Sandming last year. You know, he's really hasn't delivered like we thought he might this year. He had a 9th at round 2, but other than that, he hasn't been that special.
Well, you know, he's, again, a very, very skillful rider, and he's another of the young rider being able actually to carry so much speed. You can see Steve actually hugging Josh. He must be very proud of him right now.
Man. So, Pete's all give. I mean, he really does. He really is happy for these guys he brings on to do well.
No, he is. That's what we're saying.
Let me just quickly read out the top 10, Fabian. Hill in fastest at the moment with a 440. Petey, you just saw him there in a second with a 444. 4.18 back. 3rd is Bryceland. Miami Bryce. 4th, Lycan, 5th, Gwyn. 6th, Beaumont. 7th, Leo. 8th, Smith. Guardia Pascal in 9th, and Gavaric in 10th. So Sam Blenkinsop on track. No gloves. Never runs the gloves.
Yeah, other homers, if you really look, doesn't have any back plate or anything on him. He's just putting a shirt on and ride it like we would go doing a bit of a free ride or enduro riding back around. So you can see him actually being very dynamic, very precise, pushing out on his pedal. He's been impressive. Once again, we didn't expect to see him at that place on the semi-final. He's carrying for the good points, trying to be able. He's got the 9th number plate, which means that he's 9th overall on the World Cup, and definitely looking for a top 5, which he did last year. So let's see where he ends up. He's just 1 second down.
1.8 back, Fabian. It's
just
not undoable. It's going to be tough for him on flat pedals.
He's looking for a 2nd place right now, because if he carries on the good speed, be on the front of Steve. So definitely pretty impressive ride against for Sam.
He is certainly not going to take down Sam Hill, but he's got a very good chance of pushing Petey back in a 3rd, and he is on the gas. Blanky is pushing hard here, pedaling everywhere. Getting low, tucking, man. He was fast out there, a little bit of a bubble. Twisting it up. What's he going to do?
He's just really close. Might be in a second place.
He's 1.42 back. So Blanky has delivered here this afternoon. That was a great run for him.
That's an amazing run. I mean, once again, we said that the bottom section wasn't so good for him, and he actually managed to put out an amazing second run, bottom part, and amazing final for him. It means that he's definitely on the top 5 right now because he was in 4th place. So he's definitely on the podium. So back on the podium after his win last year. You know, when you got a win on the shoulder, it's always really challenging to manage mentally, and finding his confidence back and being able to actually hold on the first victory is always very hard. And I'm sure that this podium is gonna be good for him.
Yeah, like you said, he won, and maybe things changed for him a little bit. He was relatively, well, he wasn't the big name that he is now, and you know, as soon as you start winning, fingers start pointing, you become a target, and
exactly.
It's not so easy for
everyone
these guys.
look after you, and you know, when you're on the track, everyone is calling you, everyone is looking after you, and when you got all that on your side and on your shoulder, it's always hard to manage. I mean, Sam Blankenship is super young, and for him, you know, he needs to get a maturity with this, and doing a podium today is showing that he's definitely getting the right way.
He's coming back. He's a very quiet, shy sort of a guy until he's had a drink. Then
and then he's a lot less quiet.
Then he gets a little looser.
You can actually notice, guys, that Robs know everyone about drinking and partying, so you must imagine that he's always on their side to drink with them.
yeah, it's like the Drinking World Championship. I'd have Blanky down as about, well, he'd be top 10. Anyway.
Okay, now for me, we are in the big guns.
Here we
so
go.
Now, here we are. So, Mick Hanna, 1 year break, being on all the podiums since the beginning of the season. If I'm right, I'm not sure that if he was in Val Nord, but I'm pretty sure.
He was been podium, all of them. Second in round 1, second in round 2, 4th in Val Nord. Mick, sick. Mick Hanna is on track.
So we know that he's very consistent. He's been able to actually be really mentally precise on everything he was doing. Look how dynamic and look how hard he's pedaling.
He loves to dig deep. He doesn't mind the pain. He's 3rd overall in the World Cup at the moment. And I think it's even surprised him. He took a year out, played cricket and ran a landscape gardening company. The man from Cairns in Australia.
He's not going to be on Sam. If I'm right, he should be like 2 seconds down on Sam, so let's see what's going to happen. But we know that his precision was 4 seconds down.
4.5 seconds back, so Hill, you know, Fabian, we say about Hill not being so good on this track, but he's won it twice, but he's incredible.
You might be right.
You
might be right. You might be right.
He's starting to eat as well, different words now, the old Frenchman.
They maybe make me lie, but I keep my position. I mean, I keep my position. There is still 2 more to come, and I wouldn't be surprised that those guys put it out.
2 more guys to come then. Greg Minnaar, and then fastest qualifier, Giathan. Minnaar will be looking to take his first win. No, excuse me, his second win of 09. He won the first round.
2 seconds back, and we can see that Mick is taking the 3rd place, just on the front of Still. We can see that actually the times are a lot closer than the semi-final if you really look. So everyone is making me lying, which I don't really like.
Really become quite consistent since we last saw him a couple of years ago.
So he's on the podium again, which is for sure.
Dude. So at the moment, Hill in 1st, Blenkinsop 2nd, Mick Hanna 3rd, Steve P 4th, Bryceland in 5th. And as you said, Fabian, 2 of the world's fastest mountain bikers are in the start gate. Giathan and Greg Minnaar, both of them know how to win. Minnaar, twice the winner here. He won this race last year. We're going to see him next. And I think, like Fabian said, Hill's time now looking realistic, just 1.42 back. To 2nd place for Sam Blenkinsop, so it is realistically beatable.
It
and it's going to take a hell of a run, and Greg Minnaar might be that man.
We know that those guys are actually capable to be really consistent. I was expecting to see Mick a little faster than what he's been today, but again, track's really long, making a mistake, and when you see that you ride for 5 minutes and you have like a second difference between each rider, you imagine the consistency that they're actually capable to put together. Because everyone, some are more talented in the technical stuff, some are pedaling stronger, but still manage to actually have the same time at the bottom. So you imagine what World Cup down is now, the precision. We are definitely the Formula 1 of cycling.
I agree with you, except we're not as boring as Formula 1.
I agree.
We're not talking Q1, Q2, P3, are we? We're talking real men on real bikes where the equipment basically made no difference. It is down to these guys, and on track now is one of the greatest of all time, Greg Minnaar, the man who put Cruz into Santa Cruz, the smoothest, most probably precise rider on the World Cup circuit.
We've just seen him doing something that he already did last year. He just gapped this first rock garden, and he's the only one who's capable to do that. Really long legs, really capable to absorb and pedal and be precise on all his lane. And Greg is definitely going to be a challenging one to beat on that track. So let's see what's going to happen now. But I will see. I would say that it's going to be good.
Come on, Fabian. It's time to put your money where your mouth is. We're going to see that split. 3 times a World Cup champion.
Oh,
well,
man,
he
he
has got.
make me lie.
He's tight there into that berm.
Yeah, a bit tight, but he's pedaling strong.
He's got the power to do this, Fabian.
He's got the power on the bottom section. So let's see. To be honest, I was expecting him to be again a little faster than that. But Greg is putting very good runs together.
Right,
and
Hill delivers. You cannot ever take away Hill. He is the danger man, and when he runs hard. But Minnaar is sprinting down to this finish line. Has he done enough here?
It's going to be close.
In Fort William, it's going to be tight.
Close.
Hill's been working on his pedal in this winner.
Pushing on. He's ahead. He's ahead. Yeah, he is ahead.
He took nearly 2 seconds out Sam Hill
on the bottom
section. Fabian, I gotta say, fair play, you called it right.
I told you the bottom section is unreal. You need to make the difference there. You gotta be on your lanes on the top section and pedal hard at the bottom. And I told you, difference is made at the bottom, and Greg is putting it out.
So Minnaar into the hot seat. He's took the lead. Minnaar from Hill, from Blenkinsop, from Hanna, from Steve P. There is one man on track. He is the world champion. It is the man, the Vulcan, the supernatural powered man.
We must say a big well done to Sam, because again he must have ride amazingly on the top, because we know that on flat he is very strengthful and capable to pedal a lot more this year than he was last year, but he still managed to put an amazing run, get in second place. He's 1.5 on Greg on that track. I would say that Sam Hill is definitely the man again on that track.
Yeah, I think so, mate. You know, when we get into the more vertical tracks, then Hill is going to be a force to be reckoned for. And
for sure.
Last year we saw an epic battle between Petey and Hill. This year, you know, we got Hanna in there, be really consistent. G's just starting to really pick up speed. Greg Minnaar, there he is. I mean, we might see that battle again.
For sure, but
Hill has lifted his game on all tracks. So, and Petey, obviously, you know, the World Cup leader at the moment.
You see always the same guys on the front right now. You see the consistency of all those dudes. And I mean, we know that G has been putting a lot of effort into this weekend, and we know again that he never win here, and his extra motivation is transforming you mentally to be able to pass your limit. And you see that now in his head, he is going for it.
Here he is, all that pressure. He knows how to ride under pressure, though, taking that incredible victory in last year's World Championships in Italy, riding for Common Sail. One of the most gifted riders on the circuit.
Definitely been progressing amazingly in the last year. You see how he's carrying speed, how he's pedaling. Look at again, we were talking about the smoothness of the rider. You've seen that now. There is no drift, there is no end pack, there is no back wheel going everywhere. It's just precision, pedaling, carrying speed, and being able to pick every second on each corner.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's what you say. Sometimes the less spectacular riders are the ones going faster. And here we go, watch the split!
I don't think he is for it. He's slightly back. He must be 5 or 6 seconds. Oh, he's just 1 second back.
He has a lot to do on this bomb. It's not impossible, but it's virtually impossible.
Well, we know that Greg pedaled really hard. He's still putting an amazing run like he did at the Worlds and like he did last year. But that would be really tough, I think, for him for the win. But look, he's going for it. On the pedal, on the gas. Nothing on the saddle, and he's going for it.
Giatha, world champion there, would love to have took a victory here in front of a home crowd. I don't think he's going to do it as he makes his way down to the line. He's outside it, and Minnaar has took his second victory of 2009, and he's 299 back from it for Giatha. Minnaar has done it here this afternoon.
Pretty unreal. We know the consistency of Greg. We know what he's capable to do. He's been amazing again to prove his professionalism and prove his consistency on a run here. I mean, Greg's been unreal. He's been doing a really cool run. You can see all his fans actually going for the crowd for him. And if you look really, we got Steve on 6th and Josh on 7th and Greg on 1st. So amazing race again for the Santa Cruz team.
Santa Cruz, and he said his money was on Minnaar this afternoon. afternoon. Simon Darling, he only let himself down once this year, but that's 6th place. First time he's been off a podium, I think, in 2 or 3 years. So.
Yeah, it didn't really make him happy, and you can see now that he's pushing really hard. So Greg's been amazing. A big well done to all the riders. I mean, you see the consistency. Mina in first, Hill in second, Blankenship back on the podium in 3rd place. G amazingly consistent again in 4th place. Mikana, 3rd podium of the 4th podium.
Yeah.
4th podium of the season.
Yeah.
Steve Pitt, I mean, the man of Sheffield, your friend, is actually putting an amazing run. I'm sure that he's not very happy, but if you really look, he's 5 seconds back on Greg, which is not that much.
It's a big, long,
if you look
on
5 minutes, it's 1 second a minute. It's 1 second a minute, so that's nothing. Josh Bryce, 7th place. He's probably super happy. Matty back from injuries and back on a new bike in 8th place.
And there's a certain Fabian Burrell.
Well, you see,
not too bad for you, Fabian?
Yeah, back on the bike, 15th place. Can't complain. Really pleased about it.
2 months off, so Burrell. Here we go.
I got all these friends that came over from South Africa on the week, and bit of surprise for me. And man, I gave it my all. The guys rode well. Sam put up an amazing time, and I know I was down at the split, but I had to dig deep at the bottom to bring it back. And oh man, there's so many people I'd like to thank. You know, Santa Cruz for the effort that they put in getting the bike ready. RockShox, SRAM, all our sponsors, Stefan Gerard, my coach, the team, the syndicate, and of course the Lord for helping me out today. It's been amazing. It's just been an amazing race. Syndicate have taken 4 wins this year, so man, I'm stoked.
Okay, enjoy your crowd here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good.
It makes it a lot easier. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Blankenship of the Yeti Freecaster factory race team. In 2nd place, from Australia, and riding for Monster Energy Specialized Mad Cats, is Sam Hill. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Hill of Monster Energy Specialized Mad Cats. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our winner today, from South Africa, and riding for the Santa Cruz Syndicate, it's Greg Nana! Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Renard of the Santa Cruz Syndicate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in honour of our champion, we play the national anthem of South Africa.